What it do, what it do, what it do. We back in the building once again. Loyal to the game boxing. Just loyal to the game pretty much. But we back in here, man. Definitely back in here. My co-host will be joining us shortly. So we will definitely be getting into some more of the aftermath of last night's fight. I'll give it a minute to get some people up in here. Uh, make sure, guys. Make sure if you come in here, um, if you are a Facebook user, go ahead and click the link in the Facebook post to make sure that we can actually see your profile when you leave comments. Yes, I did. So here we go again. We have someone here. If you just take 2 seconds to go back to the actual post that I made for this, if you can go back to that post, a link on the StreamYard, click on the StreamYard link, we could go ahead and get your profile up here so I know who I'm addressing. But yes, I absolutely have seen the video, but admitting he's no longer a part of the top rank. That is that's great news. Uh, to me, that is great news because now the fight that we want to see next, so many hurdles have been, alleviated. And the fight that we want to see next between Spence and Bud is a real life possibility now because we don't have Bob Arum in there anymore. So what that does, and what a lot of people don't realize about that is what that does is that takes one whole network out of the equation, which makes the fight a lot easier to be made. So there's no more ESPN and Fox that have to do anything. With Terrence Crawford leaving top rank, what that means now is that there's no network behind him. So in order for that fight to happen, it's going to be on the PBC platform. The same way Canelo Alvarez's fight was on the PBC platform. Nah, brother, I don't see the profile. You went out and registered. Yeah, I don't see it, brother. Did you went out and registered? Let me take a look here on my iPad real quick. Let me see if I can. Let me just see what I can see here. Yeah, I can't see it, but yeah, my co-hosts are gonna be here soon. Um, I just, I'm glad that I could get a chance to just, express my views on last night's fight. My hat off to Team Crawford. They did an excellent job. They did exactly what I predicted was going to happen with Sean Porter. Styles make fights, and even though Sean Porter is a very rough, rugged fighter, he is not on the level of a Terrence Crawford or Errol Spence. Sean Porter has never ever won a step up fight. And well, let me rewind. The only fight that I would consider being a step up fight for Sean Porter that he won was when he won the IBF from Devin Alexander because he hadn't fought anyone, I guess, at Alexander's level at that point. But since then, he hasn't won any step up fights. Any of the young, prime, skilled welterweights from Thurman to Spence, even to Kell Brook, he never he never won. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So he never won any of those step up fights. So I knew for a fact. Here go my co-host calling me real quick. Hold on a second. Drico, you're gonna have to text me. Let me see what's going on with him real quick. Yeah. So he's never won a step up fight. He's given great efforts with all of his fights. They're normally dog fights, they're close fights, but I said this months ago. I said I knew I was going to go through this, so I'm so prepared for this moment because I knew Terrence Crawford was going to stop Sean Porter. And the reason that people were not picking Terrence Crawford to stop Sean Porter is because they said, "Oh, he's been in a close fight with Earl. He's never been knocked out with all of these guys." But the difference to me was he was in a close fight with Earl Spence because Errol Spence was partying and doing fat camps. He went into the Mikey Garcia partying and into a fat camp, and then he went into straight into the Sean Porter partying and doing a fat camp. And then even after that, he was seen partying after the Sean Porter fight. And then, like 2 weeks after that, unfortunately, he was in that accident. So I knew that wasn't going to be the case with Bud because Bud don't do those things. Bud is an elite fighter and he's disciplined and he lives a fighter's life in and outside the ring. Anyone who had half a brain saw that Ugas' style gave Sean Porter a lot of problems, and Ugas almost had him knocked out in that fight. They didn't even call the knockdown in the 12th round that Ugas scored, and Ugas beat him up pretty bad. And it's easy to see that a boxing style like Ugas, who's very technical, he's a Cuban fighter, very technical, very disciplined, gave Sean Porter a problem. Bud Crawford is very technical, very disciplined, more power than Ugas, and just better than Ugas all around. It was for me, it was easy to see that that was going to end up in a knockout, and it ended up in a knockout or a stoppage because he didn't get knocked out. But let's say it ended up in a stoppage technically because Sean Porter did exactly what he always does, and Bud was able to capitalize on it. He came in there with his head down and lunging. He came in there lunging shots with his head down and he got caught. Now, if we're to be honest, because I don't know who this person is, because I can't see your profile. Um, I had Sean Porter up 5-4 going into the 10th round. Me personally. So I can't argue with a person if they said they had Bud 5-4. I had Porter 5-4. Bud didn't throw a lot of punches at all that fight, and styles make fights. Sean Porter is very awkward, but there was nothing really impressive to me about that performance. And again, just like Jose Benavidez, there was nothing impressive to me about that performance until he scored the knockout. There was nothing super dominating. There was nothing that I saw that was so impressive for me to say, "Oh wow, like he just manhandled Sean Porter," or nothing like that, or even with Benavidez. So, salute to you, Cassandra Mason. Salute to you. There was nothing that was that dominating to me you know. But he caught Sean Porter. This guy, he definitely can punch. He's strong. He's a great fighter, and he did what I expected him to do. And more power to him. Kenny Porter, on the other hand, I, I don't know what to say, man. I don't know what to say about Kenny Porter. Like he probably should have just not said nothing, because he threw his son under the bus. I think that shit hurt his son feelings to the point where he wanted to say he was gonna retire. But I feel like also Sean Porter went into that fight knowing that he didn't really want to box no more. And he chose Terrence Crawford because he knew that was the biggest payday possible for him on his way out, which I salute him for because he's a real dog. He got the heart of a champion. He's a two-time champion. Sean Porter is definitely a Hall of Famer, whether people want to believe it or not. But more power to him. I feel like he feels more comfortable right now in his career. He's 34, just like Bud. He got his podcast. He's commentating fights. He's made millions of dollars in the sport. If we're gonna be honest, Sean Porter is an overachiever in boxing. You know, he's an overachiever in the sport of boxing. He's a two-time champion. He's fought in a lot of big fights, and he's a overachiever in boxing. And I salute him for that. And I gotta salute Kenny Porter for whatever type of relationship he has with his son and making Sean into that guy, because Kenny Porter did do that for Sean Porter. But what he said last night, it just to me, it was a little classless. You took away the credit from what Crawford was able to do in the ring by saying, Sean didn't train hard or in the gym, and Sean he was in some of the best shape I ever seen him in. He was like really in the type of shape I saw him in against Spence. So I'm not exactly sure what Kenny Porter was talking about in that regard. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, look, it was a great fight for boxing. And there's now a huge narrative that can be spinned, and now we can get the Spence and Crawford fight. And I'm gonna touch on that a little bit, because you know what I've noticed, and this is why I have decided to take a lot of my own personal time and give it back to myself, and not be on Facebook as much, just arguing with random people that mentally them and I aren't on the same level. Is I don't look at things from an emotional standpoint when it comes to most situations, especially boxing, because it's a sport, right? And when you take a look at everything that happened with Spence and Terrence Crawford, I'm just going to give you just a real quick rundown of what we've seen in the last couple months, right? Now, Terrence Crawford has constantly been saying that the Spence fight is behind him. From last week, not this week, fight week, the previous week, he did a show and he did a podcast and he was asked about um Errol Spence, and he said that the fight was behind him and all this other stuff. Then we saw in the promotion leading up to this fight with Terrence Crawford and Sean Porter that they had uh Josh Taylor. They that for some reason on camera, all of a sudden Josh Taylor's bumping into Terrence Crawford on camera for Top Rank, because that was that was the fight that he was supposed to. That's the fight. That's the only fight that Bob Arum could really get for him, because he don't have really any options or anyone. Let me take a look. Let me get through some. Let me get through some of these comments real quick, man, because I appreciate all you guys in the chat that support me. Um, so yeah, hold on one second. Let's see. All right, this is I don't know why then, bro, but I saw Bud winning 5-4. Okay, so I went through that. Let's see this. Spence is the only man who can beat, but it's as simple as that. I would say Spence is the only. Well, Spence is the only champion. Oh, here we go. Let's get him in here, because we already know where this is going. Get your ass up in here. Get your ass up. what's poppin', family?
How you doing, brother? What's up,
Yeah,
brother? You all right?
what you doing? You shopping? I'm seeing wigs and shit behind you and women. Where you at, man?
Man, oh man, my girl crib.
Oh, okay, 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 okay.
Yeah, yeah, sitting at
What's
her
poppin',
desk.
man? What's poppin'?
Oh man, I just got out the shower. You know what I mean? Went over my presentation for tomorrow.
Okay,
So
okay. Salute,
everything good, son. What's happening? Can you hear
salute,
me? Am I
man.
clear?
Yeah, yeah, you good, you good, you
Yeah,
good. When I'll just tell
yeah.
you, once we get feedback, because what I noticed when we get feedback with you, all you got to do is go out and come back in, and then it's gone, and then whatever. Well, maybe you at your girl house. Did you take a flight from Omaha to your girl house? Because that Omaha internet you got is fucked up. You know what I'm saying?
Oh,
You
you
took a quick
shooting?
flight.
Oh,
You
you
took a
shooting?
you took a quick flight to go see your girl. Okay.
Oh, you shooting already, huh? Okay. All right. All right. First, we got to congratulate TC
Oh yeah,
for
no
his
doubt,
victory over three people. You know,
no
he
doubt,
beat Bob. He beat what's his name? Sean Porter and Kenny Porter last night. So we got
no
to
doubt.
salute him.
Salute.
You know what
Yeah.
I mean? Yeah, yeah.
Salute.
Now I'm sorry I interrupted. I came in and finish
Yeah,
cooking,
yeah,
bro.
yeah. I was just I just wanted to
He
get
sees
through.
your wig, man. He's already pointed it out, honey. He
Yeah,
was like,
yeah,
"Where
yeah,
you
yeah,
at with a
yeah,
wig and a?"
yeah. I'm like, Drika, where you at? You got a damn wig in your background, man.
So he see
Yeah.
my wig.
Listen, I'm married,
Yeah.
man. I see more than wigs every day. You know what I'm saying? I
Oh
live with a
man.
woman. You know what I'm saying? So it's all good,
Oh
man.
man. Yeah.
It's actually,
Yeah.
it's actually refreshing in this day and age to see a man in a woman's house because we got all kind of wild shit going on
Yeah.
now. So it's actually refreshing.
Man,
All
you
right.
tell me, man. Thank you. Yeah. So my fault.
Yeah.
Finish cooking, bro. I
You
catch up.
good. He says, okay, he says,
Yeah.
so I wouldn't say he overachieved. The list of fighters he fought, win, lose, or draw against him, he's fought the best. He's deserved his two titles at the time. He's an amazing had a command. Yeah. Well, listen, when I'm saying he overachieved, I'm just saying in terms of a guy that most people felt was just a brawler who didn't really have skills. He used to headbutt people all the time. The fight was very wild. Normally, a guy like that doesn't have a really long career. They wind up getting put in a lot of wars and stuff, kind of like an Arturo Gotti type situation. But Sean Porter, one thing I can say about Sean Porter got better as he got older. He got better. He started to box better, and he deserves everything. So when I say he overachieved, I'm not saying that from a negative standpoint. I'm just saying that you have, like, for instance, Ugas has just got his first like real world title. Ugas, it was a Cuban medalist and a Olympian, and Sean Porter has a better resume than him, and Sean Porter has more accolades than he does. So when I'm saying overachieved, I mean in that way because certain guys who came up in the sport came up as a certain pedigree, like a Spence or all these guys who came up through the amateurs, went to the Olympics, you know, had a certain start, like Shakur Stevenson. So it's not surprising to see like a person like a Shakur Stevenson become a 2, 3 time, 4 or 5 time world champion. But a guy like Sean Porter, who's not the slickest, who's just durable, who puts he's all heart, you know what I'm saying, and hard work and grind. That's why I said he overachieved. But I didn't mean that in no disrespectful way. Like, he overachieved. He should have been there. He deserved everything he have. And I salute Sean Porter. He's an excellent champion and definitely a future Hall of Famer. All right. I know one thing, he
Yeah.
get hit by
Yeah.
Spence the way Porter was teeing off. And let me I'm gonna elaborate on this comment too, because I know we gonna go into another direction, Drico and myself, real soon. So let me elaborate. Yeah, I already know. So let me elaborate on this real quick. Um, I agree with that as well because we know Sean Porter smothers his work, when he's inside, and Spence is a very accurate puncher inside, very accurate. Um, and as I saw, I said this before, I said I figured out Terrence Bud Crawford's psychologically how he fights and his strengths and his attributes. And if you take a look at the fight, he was getting against Kell Brook when he was orthodox, he was getting outboxed. And that's nothing huge to look at because Kell Brook was countering Earl Spence's jab as well. You know what I'm saying? So that's just Kell Brook's strength. That's his strength. That's how he fights. With Sean Porter as well, he wasn't doing as well orthodox, and he went southpaw because that's where he's more comfortable and he has more weapons. Uh, but that's not going to work against Errol Spence because Errol Spence is a southpaw as well. That's not that taking away Errol jab and all that stuff. Errol not an orthodox fighter, so for him when he do that, it's an even playing field. The other thing that I saw again yesterday is that once he gets hit, he's an emotional fighter. Even I saw Bomac in the corner tell him box his ass when he started doing that wild shit. Bomac told him in the corner, like, don't get in all that shit, box his ass, you know. But you are who it's like you say, everyone got a plan till they get hit in the mouth. You know what I'm saying? It's like that's just in his core who he is, because Bud has a lot of heart, you know what I'm saying? And he want to get his get back and all that. And that's just who he is. Since he was a kid, like his mom said, he used to fight the other kids and she couldn't get no one to whoop him. That's just in the core of who Bud Crawford is. I feel like that's gonna play a part in his demise when he fight Errol Spence too, because no matter what you say with Errol Spence, whether he knocked out, he didn't knock out Sean Porter or all these other things, we have not seen a fight where Errol Spence is dancing around the ring and not bringing the fight to you. That's how he fight. That's how he fight for round one. That's how he fight from round one to round 12 or to whenever. That's how he fights. And when him and Crawford fight, I said this before that it's going to turn into a motherfucking fight. They're gonna be swinging for the fences on each other. They gonna be they gonna be swinging for the
Yeah.
fences. And to me, the only way that Crawford is could beat him is he has to beat him from outside and outpoint him, because if they go on the inside, he gonna get beat up. That's Errol's world. And I'm not saying that Bud can't fight inside, because he could do it all. But what I do know is that he's not as durable.
It's a Spence attribute. That's
Yeah.
what it boils
Yeah.
down to. Yeah.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? I feel like he's not as durable. I'll show you. Like, if people go back and take a look at the Spence and the Lamont Peterson fight after in the fifth round, after Spence knocked Lamont Peterson down, you if you watch how Spence fights, he liked being in that pocket and being aggressive and dragging you into that shit. He don't mind taking a punch. You know what I'm saying? He don't mind taking a punch to drag you into that world where people where you guys are just banging it out. You know, so um, I'll say that, but I see Porter hit him with a couple shots, but I didn't see nothing where there was any kind of detrimental shots that made me say, "Oh my God, this would this."
Yeah.
I just saw from what I saw from round one through up to the knockout, I didn't see anything that worried me if him and Spence fought. I'm just being honest. I didn't see nothing that worried me. There was nothing about that performance that worried me. Like, oh, he was doing this to Sean, or he did that, or he did this, or he did that. There's nothing that worried me. So let's move on. Let's move on to the next comment real quick here. I think this person was saying he don't know what he want, because we were talking about how Bud said one week that he wanted that the fight was behind, the next week he was trying to get a mandatory.
Yeah.
Let's.
It's Endo. It's ESD Endo.
Oh, okay, okay,
ESD.
yeah,
I don't
yeah, I
know
can't
how
even
to.
see that. Yeah. Oh. All right. Let's see. The man. Wait. The man I've been waiting to see, no doubt. But pulled the Canelo.
Uh,
Knew he had
salute.
to get Porter out of there, or he was going to lose. I mean, that's very possible. That's very possible, and I could see him taking a loss yesterday, because the fight was close. I mean, until Bud ended it, the fight was very close, and I had Porter up 5-4. You know what I'm saying? So the fight was very close. So,
Hmm.
I can see that. Let's see who else. Salute to you, Ben Israel. Shalom, my brother. What a night of boxing. Yeah, Kenny effed up the collection plate. Keep Sean fighting. I don't think Sean is done. He got more boxing than him. I don't think he's done. He
He
may
just
need.
emotional right
Yeah,
now.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
And I
Yeah. He
think his
just
dad hurt his
emotional. He never
feelings.
got beat like.
I think his
Yeah.
dad hurt his
He never
feelings
got
too.
beat like that.
Right.
Yeah, he never Sean never got beat like that. It was the inexperience on that part because he never got shook and rocked like that. And I think his dad panicked because that was uncharted waters for them. And his
Mm-hmm.
dad it hinted to it earlier, like you don't know how it feel to have your son get hit up
Mm-hmm.
there. Like you
Mm-hmm.
know, so that's emotional too. Then to have him not only get hit but wobble, and he just panicked. Oh, I don't want to see my son in. You know
Right.
what I mean?
Facts. Yeah. Facts.
Yeah.
Facts. Facts. Yeah.
It's the inexperience of the corner. I tell you who else corner was inexperienced in that, and that was Haney's. Devin Haney's corner was they got rocked too. They didn't know what to do when Haney got shook. You know, it was
Right.
kind of like pandemonium in the corner.
Right.
They was fanning them. One person talking to it like, "Who's
Yeah.
the president?"
That's
You know what I mean?
real.
Like,
It's real because
Yeah, yeah,
you work with your son and you seeing him, being dominant in the gym and being at a certain level. Now y'all in uncharted waters. It's like, what do I do or how do I handle this? So, but I feel
right,
like
right.
Kenny Porter, I feel like I feel like Kenny Porter's stoppage was premature, but the end was very near anyway. So it was kind of like a
Right,
preservation stoppage. Like he wanted to
right,
preserve Sean and not have Sean,
right.
like here we go, and not have Sean, like knocked out, really like dizzy, because Sean faculties was all there at the end of the fight. You know what I'm saying? His
Yeah,
faculties was all there,
yeah,
but if it would have kept going, his faculties
My
wouldn't have been all there.
bros,
Hey, what's going on, family?
yeah, yeah.
what's
Peace,
good,
bro.
man? What's
Yeah.
good,
Oh man,
Dre?
we just jumping in on what's going on, brother. We just going in on how Kenny Porter, stopped the fight. Some think it's premature. Some think it's he was in the middle of that uh trainer type issue. You know what I'm saying? So
I
it's kind
just
of
don't like
hard that that line is
how he
kind of
said that
blurred.
stuff.
No, it was classless to me. I think it was a shot at his son, all the work
I
his
didn't like
son
it.
put in, and then
Yeah,
also it's taking the credit away from Bud and Bud's
yeah,
performance and what he did.
exactly.
It's like, well, because it's Sean would have did this, but he didn't do it. So I fuck it. I don't want it. Not like
Kind of was like a
sometimes.
crybaby a little bit. Like, you know
Yeah,
what I'm saying?
yeah.
It just turned me off. And
Look,
I got mad respect for Kenny Porter, bro. But you don't throw your son under the bus
the
like
bus
that,
like
bro.
that, and he probably he has, that's the relationship they have, and he's had that. They have their own relationship. First of all, I think it's weird if your daddy live across the street from you. That's just weird
Yeah,
to
that's
me.
weird.
I mean,
That's,
they may be close like that. You know
no,
what I mean?
I hear you, but
Yeah. Yeah, I mean,
That means that
I
Porter's
feel it
still
too. But
under
like,
his wing, bro. I mean, did
Porter,
you see
it
how
seemed
he
like
was
he got
talking
too
to him
much
though?
input
yeah,
on
too much. You know what I'm saying?
too
And
much.
Yeah,
and it's tough because you got your dad. You know what I'm saying? It's like it's tough. You've had your dad training you all your life. Since you seen the clips they showed how small Porter was when he was boxing. This is been your father
yeah,
all your life, and for your father to be
yeah,
teaching you how to fight and all of that stuff, he has to
Everything.
be a certain type of person just to be teaching you how to fight and become a fighter.
yeah,
So
Yeah.
so so
yeah,
he's have a
yeah.
lot of influence over
Huh.
his son, but I think at some point you gotta loosen up. There's
Yeah. But
nothing.
see, what we saying though, like my dad right here,
Mhm,
we knew that Porter was hurt and everything,
mhm.
and it's commendable for him to be his son's trainer because that is very difficult. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
yeah, yeah,
But
yeah, absolutely.
Right,
we can
right.
accept him stopping the fight so his son don't get hurt all day long. But
Right,
it's the way that he treated his son after the fight,
right,
saying
right.
that
It was,
stuff. That wasn't
yeah,
cool,
it
man.
wasn't cool. Yeah, it wasn't cool. And no one was mad at Sean Porter. They was mad at his
Mm-mm.
dad. You know
Mm-hmm.
what I'm saying? It's like
Yeah.
Sean Porter didn't shit on him. He said he wanted a rematch, and then he retired. He's just like he's
Whoa,
just
he said
emotional.
that?
Yeah, after the fight, like in the post car, he was
Yeah,
saying we could do it again. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-mm.
He
Leave
said he
that
wanted to
he
alone.
but yeah,
emotional,
yeah,
man.
yeah. He just emotional right now, and it's cool because the shit
Kenny
happened.
emotional. They both emotional. Kenny emotional. He said,
But I
they
agree with
said
Kenny
some
too,
things.
though. I agree
Yeah.
with Kenny a little bit too, because like Sean had like one foot in the broadcast, and then like it's difficult to do both, bro.
Well, you
You think
remember we
about it.
talked about that.
Yeah.
We talked about that. Then we went about him broadcasting and doing all
Mm-hmm.
that stuff. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? And then not really training and
He was
yeah,
asleep last
yeah,
week, bro. He tired. Like the nigga was
Yeah,
tired.
yeah. He was
yeah.
asleep on the set, right?
Yeah, I ain't never
So
seen no shit
I
like
mean,
that
so
before,
that
bro.
so I mean, Kenny, but I feel like there's also a time and place. Even if that was what Kenny's thought was, that wasn't a time and place to say that.
Mm-hmm.
You know
I
what I'm
agree.
saying? Even
I agree.
if he
Right.
felt like that, that wasn't a time and place to say that. But that's what happens a lot. A lot of people are just reactional to situations. He wasn't thinking. He just
Yeah.
blurted
Can
out.
I
Both
ask
of
you
You
a
know
them
what I'm
just
question,
saying?
Quan?
emotional.
Sure.
If Porter would have just somehow stopped, but you think Kenny would have been saying all that shit
Oh
at
hell
the end of the
no.
fight?
No,
Right.
I
You see what I'm
told
saying?
Right.
you, my son is,
No.
and that's what I'm saying. That's why you can't. I don't really put no or hold no weight to what he's saying. You know what
Right.
I'm saying?
Right.
It's like
Mm-hmm.
Shoot!
he just
Shout out to Munir Khan from the United Kingdom, England.
We got the
Okay.
UK in the
Oh,
building.
Manir Khan is that's Manir Khan. Good
Yeah,
people. He's been around
yeah.
for years. Yeah, salute,
Okay.
Yeah,
salute.
that's my
Yeah,
man.
Loyal to the
That's my
game.
man.
And you got a long arm now. We in the United Kingdom.
yes,
Okay.
We
Okay.
reaching, we
Salute,
sir.
reaching out there,
Munir.
baby.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah.
So let me just go through the rest of these comments. To be honest, thought Ugas is only a champion due to Spence getting injured, and he fought
No, you can't
a
say
over
that.
the hill pack. We gotta just
You
give
can't say
people
that.
their
You
respect.
gotta give him his
I'm not
props.
gonna I'm not
Yeah.
gonna I'm not gonna criticize Ugas because one of the main reasons I chose Bud Crawford to not Porter out was because what I seen Ugas do to Porter. So like we
Okay.
can't you know what I'm
Okay.
saying? That's one of the main reasons because I said this. I said, yo, Ugas beat up Porter. He beat him
He
up.
beat Porter up, bro.
Yeah, he
Porter
beat
won
him
that
up.
fight. I
Peter,
mean, Porter
yeah,
lost that fight to
yeah,
him.
and he beat him up. And I was like, Ugas is Cuban style, disciplined
Mm-hmm.
fighter, schooled very well, technical, but don't have a lot of power, but has skills.
He
He
got
did
enough
that to
power
right. He
to
did
make you
that
honest.
right. He did that to Porter, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm
Mm-hmm.
like, Bud is the same thing, technical skill, but just on a higher level and better, stronger, got knockout power in each
Does
hand.
Bud beat Ugas last night?
Oh
But
yeah,
Ugas fight against Manny and this fight with Bud, and if you take that Ugas for Manny and this Bud right here, do you think
yeah. Listen,
Bud?
the only person that can beat Terrence Bud Crawford, in my opinion, is Errol Spence and Jerome Bruce Ennis. There's no one else. That's my opinion. There's no one else that I give a chance. Not even I would have given Keith Thurman a chance back in
So
the
you
day,
don't
but
give
he's been
Ugas a
two and a
chance in
no, he
hell?
can't beat him. No, there's levels. Understand what I'm saying, bro?
No, I'm just
Th-
asking.
no,
Yeah.
no, no. Understand
Mhm.
what I'm saying. There's levels to all things, and in boxing, Ugas is not on their level. You could see that with how him and Sean Porter matched up, and I'm not just talking stylistically, but there's levels. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? Those two guys were on the same level, and the best man to me didn't win that night that Porter and Ugas fought. I felt Ugas should have won that fight, but
Yeah,
his but
yeah.
his level, his level is not there, and especially and Manny Pacquiao,
I was just getting ready to say that
does
he beat a legend.
yeah, but Manny Pacquiao, and I said this before, Manny Pacquiao, as soon as he got to take VADA testing, he looks his
It's
age.
different. It's different. It's different.
He didn't
I
look.
agree.
He looked 25 years old against Keith Thurman.
I agree, bro. I agree.
He looked
I
25
agree.
years old against Keith Thurman.
I agree.
He looked every bit of 40 something against Ugas. They actually look like two old niggas fighting in the ring. When I that
At
that
one point. At one
yeah,
point.
you know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? Ugas ain't
Yeah.
had no hair, no eyebrows, no
No
nothing. You,
eyebrows
you
and
know what
shit.
I'm saying? It looked like he,
Street.
like Mr. Magoo was fucking fighting Manny Pacquiao. You know what I'm saying?
I'm like, who the fuck is this nigga with
Yeah.
no
Yeah,
eyebrows?
I'm like, ain't no nigga with no eyebrows gonna beat Spencer Bud. Are you serious? Like, come on, man.
Man.
Yo, I
He
started
came in there
fucking
looking like
crying, bro. I
Tarver.
started laughing and crying
Man, he
already,
came in
bro.
there looking
Like,
like Tarver Jr.
Yeah, he came in there like he used like Nair, like the shit women put on
you
their
got any
legs to remove
excuses
hair.
tonight, Roy?
Oh my god.
Man. I
You
said,
know,
I'm not
is
fucking
this
with y'all today,
Antonio
bro.
Tarver?
God, man. He said ain't
Man,
nobody with no
that
eyebrows beating no damn Bud Spence, bro.
Ben Israel says Kenny should have let Sean fight on. I mean, he could have, but
Nah, at that point,
it
bro,
was he was done.
he's gonna
He
hurt that
went
man.
he went down twice in a short period of time. That's a problem.
There's a long 2 minutes left. You know what I'm saying?
That's a,
Or a
that's
minute
a
and
left.
that's
then
a
you gotta
then you got two
and
more
then you
rounds.
gotta
Yeah.
yeah, you gotta
Yeah,
factor
that was
in
shit for two
too,
more
Ben.
rounds.
Yeah, you gotta
Hold on.
factor in
Not only
too,
that,
Ben. TC is the finisher.
Yeah,
he got
You
exactly.
know
blood in
what
the
I'm saying?
water. It's
Oh
blood
yeah,
in the water.
absolutely.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Exactly,
Yeah,
Drew.
And the Porters know him well. You know what I'm saying? Like they
yeah.
know
Well
him
enough to know I
well.
better
Like
stop this shit when this boy get
Yeah,
hurt.
yeah, yeah. That's yeah.
absolute,
I felt
absolute,
that. I felt that. So yeah, I'll
Yeah.
say that.
absolute.
All right. Kramer says, John Kramer says Errol Spence won't be out of position like Sean Porter be. I agree. I agree with that. That's another reason why I chose Errol to win the fight after based off what I saw last night. Because again, there
I
was nothing.
disagree.
Okay, that's cool. I'm just saying there was nothing I saw from Terrence Crawford last night that says, oh, he's going to dominate or beat Errol Spence. and this up because up to the 10th round, like I said, I had Porter up by 1 round, 5-4. People could have had Bud up around or tie, whatever it was. I don't have a problem with that. You know what I'm saying? Because we all in the
Right.
same vicinity.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
until that moment of Porter, and we look at it as the way Porter got knocked out was he went to being himself, lunging like this because he fought an excellent fight up to when he
Up to that
did
point,
this
he did.
and got caught.
He surprised me because I
Right,
was like,
and all I'm saying is that Errol Spence is a disciplined fighter. That he don't do shit like that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
but
saying? He's
you gotta look at it like this too. He went life and death for Earl too at that point in the
yep,
fight when they fought. So you know what
he
I'm saying?
did.
Like,
But like I said,
yeah,
when they fought, when Sean Porter and Errol Spence fought, they fought like this. They
yeah,
locked
in the phone
horns.
booth. They was in the
Right,
phone booth.
right. When Sean
Yeah.
Porter and Bud fought, that's not when they fought by round 3. The punch stats was Porter had 20 scored 25 punches and Bud scored 20. This was in round
Yeah,
3.
I remember
So
they
it
showed
wasn't
that.
right. So it wasn't a
Yeah.
very active fight between Sean Porter and Errol Spence. They threw that amount of punches and landed that amount of punches in
Well,
the first round.
you gotta look at it the other way around
Yeah.
also.
Hmm.
Bud boxed him, and Sean was trying to box Bud. When Sean fought Earl, they just
Sean, so as soon as the bell rang, when the opening bell rang, nigga Sean came out and threw some shit at him. He came at him quick. So I feel like,
Yeah.
you know what I'm
can you
saying?
hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
All right,
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah. So I feel like, yeah, because if you know, Sean has got more intelligent and wiser intellectually as a fighter
But he
as
wasn't
he's
gonna
gotten
outbox
older.
Bud though.
Right.
Like, you know what I'm
No, but he
saying?
did a hell of
Yeah,
it. But he did a hell of
for
a
a moment.
job for
Yeah,
as long as he
yeah.
did it. And because as I said, the other reason I chose him to lose is because of his reach. He had to.
Attributes. He
Remember, I
had
told you that.
attributes.
I said his reach. I said Bud fight people with reach, with short reach differently, like Felix Diaz. These guys lunging and coming in, he gonna pick them apart trying to get in there
All day
because
long.
they can't match him because he got that long ass 74. They gotta come in there and see him, and he's throwing heat the whole
You gotta
time.
take something to give
Yeah,
some. Yeah.
yeah,
We taking away from the IQ of it too. Bud knows
Yeah.
that he knows what he has in that reach, and he
I
knows
seen
how
him
to
fight in
use
his
it.
range too,
So
Drake. Like, I'm like, oh, he found his
yeah,
range.
yeah,
I'm like, oh shit.
yeah. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So when he do that, we take away to address John Kramer's question. It ain't about being in Earl being in position. It's about another boxer knowing how to get you out of position. You see what I'm
Mm,
saying? That's where the
mm.
discipline comes in. That's why you seen even Mike Tyson hit you in the rib, then come up with that uppercut. Because soon as you react, you out of position. And he
right.
comes up with that
How
uppercut.
you know
So it's
what?
not about you always being in position. It's about a person that's that can take you out of that position. You see
Position.
what
No,
I'm saying?
Hmm.
you 100% right. Yeah, thousand
Yeah,
percent right with
that's
that. And
true.
like you said,
That's true.
IQ and Bud understanding what he has. That's what makes him a great fighter because he
And
has a
Earl
lot of skills
understand
and
what
he
he
and
has too.
right.
Oh hell yeah.
Yeah,
Earl got good distance too. Like,
yeah,
you know what I'm
yeah.
saying? So
So, but that's what I'm saying. Also, with that fight, and I'm gonna address Sheldon more because I know what he's talking about. But that's why I say their fight is going to be different because Earl got a 72-inch on reach, Bud has a 74. So that fight for Errol is not going to be one on the outside. Bud has a lot of skills on the outside. But what I'm saying is that the same type of advantages he has against other people, he's not going to have on Earl Spence due to number one, and I saw it again yesterday, is that Bud is naturally a better fighter. Even if he's naturally a right-handed person, he's a better southpaw. He's a better he stay. I told you that. What
we
he
talked about it
do,
last night.
yeah, you know what I'm saying? It's like he's a better southpaw. So that is not going to be uh the same thing where he's taking away Errol's jab because Errol's orthodox and he's a southpaw. Because if Bud goes orthodox to try to switch shit up on Errol, he gonna get beat up because the orthodox
Yeah.
side is not his best side. That is not his
Right,
most
right.
comfortable and best side. We talking about Crawford is fighting as a southpaw. We see
Right.
him have more issues when he's orthodox. I mean, that's just a fact.
Right.
So
Right.
that's what makes the fight very interesting going forward. Now, Shelton Moore was talking about
Absolutely.
he said how do I know that? He was talking about what I said about Lamont Peterson and Earl like in a fight in a phone booth,
Oh,
and I said that
yeah.
he's gonna. I said I feel like he's going to beat him up. He's going to drag him into a dog fight and beat him up. Well, let me ask you a question, Trico. Do you see Earl Spence staying on the outside and trying to outbox Bud Crawford?
Nope.
He can't. That's not going to happen.
Ho. Pause.
Go ahead.
I see where you're going with that, but I'm kind of like on the fence with that. And the only reason I'm on the fence with that because I've heard Earl say that if somebody said that this person can do this better than me, then he will go in there and try to outbox him or whatever. So he may try to outbox, but which I
Well,
don't think he should.
That would be dumb, though.
I don't think that he should.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But
Earl Smart, man. He
Earl,
didn't make it to the
yeah,
Olympics and where he
for
is
nothing.
today.
Right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's
So
Yeah.
been
he's
doing this shit.
smart. He
He was a
might say
kid
that,
too.
but once he get into that ring, it's gonna be a whole different
It's
story. You
it's
know what
it's
I'm saying? I think
it's
Yeah,
it's just like what it's just like what he said when he met Crawford in person. He said he too small. He gonna jump on him. He gonna
hey,
have to. He gonna. That's what I'm saying. He said
Crawford
and
strong, bro. He was
yeah.
throwing
Oh, he
Porter around
very
like a
strong.
rag doll in that
Yeah.
motherfucker, dog.
Yeah. He's a Crawford
he's
is
settled in now.
yeah.
And plus he's settled
He
into that weight.
Drake.
Right.
He is definitely settled in the
Right.
147 right
Right.
now.
Well, he's been here how
Yeah,
many years now? You know what I'm saying? You
Yeah, but
know.
I'm saying
yeah,
though, think
yeah,
about it. He
Yeah.
started in two
Yeah.
weight classes up underneath that, so he's just now
yeah,
in his
Yeah,
body.
yeah,
I feel like I feel like it's more natural for him
It's
because he's a
natural now.
smaller guy and he's
yeah,
filled into it the right way where
yeah,
he could be strong at that weight
Yeah,
class.
he's
So
strong.
yeah.
yeah, he's strong.
Last
Can,
night
can I
to
can
me,
I
I
address
asked
can
Kwame
I
this
address
last night. He looked the
yeah,
strongest
go
to
ahead.
me. He looked the strongest to me out of
Oh yeah.
all them fights at 147 last night. Maybe it's
Yeah.
because of the
Can I
opponent
let
that
me
he had to
address
fight because he knew it
Endo?
was gonna be rough, but he was strong, bro.
I'm gonna address Endo when he said the back foot thing. The back foot is that right there is an art. Not too many boxers can do it. Matter of
Hmm.
fact, Earl Spence can't even do it. It takes a certain amount of skill, not taken away from what Earl Spence does. As Earl Spence is great at what he does. He's
Right.
elite, so he's great at what he does. But fighting off the back foot is not his forte. That's a weapon that everybody uses. That's a weapon that Leonard used. That's a weapon that Ali used. That's a weapon that
Lennox
Floyd
Lewis.
uses. Yeah,
Lennox Lewis can
they
do it
all
too.
fight off their back foot. That's how you
Right.
pull counter, bro. Off the back foot. You pull counter off the back
He
foot. That's
almost
just a
Mayweathered
weapon.
him last night and caught him with that same check hook that sent him in the
He was trying
turnbuckle
to
fight
do
that
it
Mayweather
all
lost.
night long.
Hmm.
He
Yeah,
Sean
was
did a
trying to
good
do it
job
all night long.
defensively until the lunging part.
Yeah,
yeah,
He did an
yeah, yeah,
excellent job
yeah,
defensively, which I want to say I'm shocked, but as I said, Sean has gotten better and better as he's
he
gotten
has.
older. So,
He has. He
I'm
has.
yeah,
not gonna, I'm
yeah,
not gonna take anything away from Sean.
yeah,
Uh
yeah.
Yeah.
so Endo says Jenny not gonna let Sean go out on his shield. Which may be possible. Uh, I, it's like I'll be wanting to like respond to some of these things, but it's like, what's the point? I've admitted,
Yeah,
like I've already admitted, Sean got stopped. I gave you, but
yeah,
people see what happens is people pick a side, right, Drico, and then they want to argue with you because the side that they picked. Listen. I understand that he got stopped. I picked him to get stopped. That doesn't change what
right,
I see
right.
going forward.
Yeah, yeah. It's just a preference. Once you get locked in, a person gets locked in, then they're locked in. But
Right,
it doesn't take a discredit, who that other person is just because you locked in one favorite fighter. You know what I mean?
right. He
So
says,
they
does it
all
matter?
good. Sean Porter could. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Oh no, I was gonna read another comment, but that one don't make sense to me to read either. Respect from
Oh,
England. Salute to you, good brother. Your father can be detrimental to your career. You remember Zab dad used to punch him in the corner. Yeah. I mean, a lot this happened a lot. Fathers a lot of times have
yeah,
been getting, kicked out of the camp. Roy Jones Jr., uh
yeah, yeah,
Sugar Shane
yeah,
Mosley, Floyd. Yeah,
yeah, yeah,
it's a lot.
yeah.
It's a lot. You know what
Yeah,
I'm
I
saying?
know Zab. I know Zab personally, and Zab ain't having that. Like, Yoel don't. He don't. Mr. Yoel, I'm sorry. He don't really get involved as much as Kenny Porter. He might do that in the ring because he's not dad. Then I
Right.
think Yoel knows how to separate
Right.
the dad from the trainer. You know what I'm saying?
I
You don't
agree.
remember Sugar
Afterwards,
Shane
yeah,
Mosley and his
Zab.
dad?
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, yeah. It
I
don't
agree.
never work, man. Like that don't never work.
Yeah, that's why Mosey had to get rid of
You know,
his
look
dad,
at
bro.
Floyd.
He couldn't even
Look
give
at
him good
Floyd and his
instructions when he
dad.
got in trouble.
Yeah, look at Floyd and Big Floyd. It just ain't gonna
Right.
work, bro.
Yeah. Yeah. Because there's not enough balance there. It's like you got to put like this. You have to play two as a dad coach. You got to wear two hats. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you
You
do.
got to
You
wear
do.
two hats, and that could be
Yeah,
confusing to your son. You know what I'm saying?
yeah, yeah,
Very confusing.
It's
yeah.
hard to send your son out there to get fucked
Devontae.
up.
Yeah, Devontae Smith. What's up, man? St. Louis in the building.
Hey,
Salute,
bro,
salute,
can we get Jesse to get my push-ups live on Facebook, bro?
salute, man. Look. I said, Devon say, you know what? You ain't here. You need to give me my props because I called him getting knocked out. You said it too, but I called him as well. Porter getting knocked out in this fight, and it happened exactly for the reasons I said.
Did you look at your IG this morning? I sent you something probably about a couple hours ago.
Nah, I'll take a look at it though.
Oh no, bro, I ain't gonna. You know, I'm a jokester. I love to have fun and shit.
Uh huh.
I just showed my pops. They showed Earl at the fight,
Uh huh.
and when he knocked him out, and he got up, and he kind of looked. When you see the video, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about.
Okay.
He got up off that motherfucker like yo, that shit was
Right.
hilarious, dog.
Yeah.
Yo,
He's probably like
the look that he
there we
gave, bro,
go.
was like
Shit.
he did this.
Like
He just, oh my god, I was laughing, bro. That shit was hilarious, dog. Drake,
Earl know. Earl
you
know
on
what's
IG,
up,
Drake?
bro.
You on IG?
No, I don't. I'm not. No,
I'm
I'm
gonna
not.
send it to
I'm
your
about to get
Facebook
on there.
Messenger or something, bro. I'm gonna figure out how
Yeah,
to do it. The shit was
yeah.
hilarious, dog.
yeah.
Earl know. Earl know what's up, bro. Earl
Nigga
know
fight.
what's up.
I mean, and it was respect. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, even though people can use it as a meme or whatever,
Right.
because I look, but
It,
it's
it,
like,
it was like,
yeah, we
yeah.
gotta fight. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, this shit
Yeah.
going down, bro.
Yeah. Oh, I know it's going down.
Yeah, it's going down.
Let's see what's going on with some more of these comments. It was a good fight. It was a good fight. Though felt a little Hagler Hearns vibe. It wasn't enough action for that. Those two guys came
Nah,
out.
that
Those
wasn't
two
Hagler
guys.
Hunter.
Them two guys threw about 100 punches between both of them in the first round. They had 25 punches landed in the third.
Right.
25 to
That
20.
definitely wasn't no Hagler
Yeah, it
Hunter.
wasn't that.
Mm-mm.
Right.
Bud stops. Ugas. Yeah, I just said that. Salute to the panel. Salute to you, Tyrone Spencer. Salute to the chat. Salute to you, my good brother. I don't know, Drico. I don't know if you know who that is with the smiley face on Facebook.
It's just a Facebook
Oh,
user.
Okay.
who was that?
A 43-year-old
Oh,
Pac-Man.
Montiel Khan. That's
What about
Montiel.
Pac-Man? Come on.
Manir Khan. Okay, salute to you.
What
Yeah,
about
Manir
Pac-Man?
Khan. Yep.
A 43-year-old Pac-Man coming off a 2-year layoff. I'm
That's Pac-Man fault for not fighting.
yeah, I'm lost about that. He could have fought, and it
Could
was
have
a
fought.
pandemic. I mean,
Yeah.
nobody was screaming the 43-year-old shit when he beat up Keith Thurman, and he was
Wow.
taking his power
Right.
pellets. So
And that goes
no one
back
was
to what I
screaming
Okay.
that.
said last night
He's an
about
all-time
Canelo
great.
Alvarez.
He's better than Floyd
Yeah.
Mayweather. Look at what he did.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. When he's
Mm-hmm.
on the power pellets,
Yeah.
that's the only time people think he's better than Mayweather.
All right.
Salute John Applegate. How you doing, brother?
But what's on the
Oh,
back?
go back to that one. Go back to that last comment. He said Spence walked out the building because Crawford
Which
wasn't shit or something. What is that?
Spence walked out because TC fight wasn't shit. He saw what he needed to see.
What was it that he needed to see?
I saw what I needed to see too to know that he can't beat Spence last night. I saw what I needed to see,
Bro.
even in the
Different
knockout.
opponent. Bring out different shit.
This is true. This is very true. But again, there was nothing that I saw in that performance up to the knockout that said,
Well, that's good.
you know what I'm saying? It's just like,
if he's thinking like
this
y'all
makes me,
thinking, that's
this
a good
makes
thing.
me, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
this makes me weary. Like, there was nothing in that fight going into the 10th round, or there's no moments you really could look in that fight before the knockout happened, be like, damn, shit he doing right here to Porter, he would Spence don't have no damn chance. There was nothing that he did in that fight that said that to me at all, which really boosted my confidence up when I
That's a
saw
good
that.
thing. That's
Yeah,
a good thing.
it's a great thing.
Hell
You know what
yeah.
I'm saying?
If
But
he thinking he can wash him, now he'll fight him.
yeah,
You know what I'm
just
saying?
like
Like,
just like I said against when he fought Benavidez, there was nothing that he did up into the knockout with Benavidez where it was like, damn, this motherfucker cold. Like, you know what I'm saying? But when he gets you hurt, he a cold motherfucker. And it's just his style. Maybe it's a little
you better
slower.
not let
He
that boy get you
gets
hurt.
to
He better.
oh no,
Best
yeah, yeah,
finisher
yeah.
in boxing.
He gonna finish you if you
Yeah.
hurt, he gonna finish you without a doubt. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? That's
I
that's
think the latter. I think when we say about Spence and TC, like I think the latter. I don't think it's what they're gonna bring to the table. I think about what each one of them is gonna nullify from the other person.
Yeah.
You see what
okay.
I'm
That's
saying?
boxing. That's
Like
boxing.
we know
Yeah.
what they can do
Yeah.
offensively. It's about who can take an attribute from a person. That's that old school way of thinking.
Yeah.
If
Take what
like you
you
got
do
to
good
take the
away from
jab,
you.
nullify it. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
And go back to the basics.
Great point, John Kramer. This is another thing that I saw yesterday. And then if we go back to the Kell Brook fight, I'll elaborate on that as well. The southpaw stance is where Crawford is best, where he has his advantages over conventional fighters. Fighting Earl, he doesn't get that advantage. And see, when you look at when he fought Kell Brook, orthodox, he was getting time, like Spence was getting time. He had damage to his eye very early, was getting hit quite a bit. He couldn't make no adjustment to get away from that jab and that 1-2. The way that he was able to make the adjustment was he could go southpaw, and it took away the jab. It took away Kell Brook's jab and his timing,
That's a
which
tool.
is not.
That's something in the
It,
toolbox.
oh, it absolutely is. But what I'm saying and why I'm agreeing with John Kramer is that doesn't exist against Spence because he's not an orthodox fighter where he's going to be able to take his jab away going southpaw due to his angle. It's going to be two southpaws
Mm-hmm.
fighting, you
Mm-hmm.
know.
Mm-hmm.
And Bud Crawford, Drico says, is great on the back foot. It's not what Drico said. He mentioned it, but it's accurate that he's great on the back foot.
And the
And
front foot.
yeah, well, he's great on the back foot and trying to catch distance and all of that as a southpaw, and that style of fight is not going to beat Errol Spence because
Okay.
Errol Spence is going to be in his chest. He's going to
Okay.
be in that man's chest,
Okay. But listen though, Kwame. Listen. We ain't never really seen Spence in no trouble. You know what I'm saying? Other
right?
than that little bullshit.
Right?
So that ain't shit or
Right?
whatever. But listen, to get in that man's chest to do all that is gonna give and take. You feel
Oh,
what I'm saying?
and,
And we
that, and
know
that's exactly what I want
you want it.
because
You want a firefight,
yes,
but
that's
Bud don't
exactly what
have
I
to
want.
fight that type of fight
He's
against
going.
him.
We have to.
Against Spence.
He does not have to fight that type of fight
He
against
is
Spence.
he's go but yes he is. He's going to have to, and I'm gonna tell
Okay,
you why.
I'm gonna tell you what. Hold on.
All right,
Hold
go
on.
ahead.
Because just
Go
like
ahead.
last night, we expected Porter to fight Bud like he fought Spence. We thinking like that's the only shot he got. He wasn't go outbox Bud.
Uh-huh.
Is that safe to say?
Uh-huh.
Okay. So it's the same thing in this fight with EJ if they fight. You know
But
what I'm saying?
that's
EJ is gonna have to come in there, close the distance.
uh-huh.
He's going to have to the
Right.
high guard and all that. Bud go hit him with looping punches, coming around shit and walk him into shit.
Now now that's why we go back to John Kramer's comment. I agree
Okay.
with you 100% on that.
Mhm.
But EJ is doing that as a southpaw, not as an orthodox fighter. When these two guys fight, the fight is going to happen as southpaws, bro. But
He
mark my
go
words.
Bud go both ways, bro.
No, he can't.
He
He
gonna go
can't.
both
No,
ways.
listen to what I'm telling you. He can't. If he go orthodox, EJ gonna beat the dog shit out of him.
Listen, you're wrong. I'm gonna tell you why
Okay.
you're wrong. Bud can hurt this man with either hand.
I'm not saying he can't,
Yeah,
but he
so EJ is not just go walk in there like,
okay.
okay,
Okay. But what
he's
I'm
not gonna
saying,
do that, bro.
but what I'm saying is that Bud is a great fighter and he can switch and all that, but I don't respect his skill set as much on the
On the
orthodox side.
conventional stance, you
I
saying
do
you
not respect it as
okay,
because
okay.
what I see is that he doesn't make as great adjustments on that side, and he's also very defensively vulnerable, way more defensively vulnerable as an orthodox fighter, as we saw against Kell Brook. Even in the beginning of the fight with Sean Porter yesterday, He started orthodox. He wasn't doing that well, and then he just stayed southpaw for the rest of the fight. That's what he did. And people say,
Kell Brook
"Oh,
is a better
it's
boxer than Spence, though.
Yes, he
well,
is. Yes,
well."
he is.
No, Kel. Let's put it like this: Kel Brook.
At his
Let's
best,
say,
he
oh,
was.
let's say that you're right, which I don't agree with. But let's say that you're right. That doesn't matter because Kel Brook is not a better fighter than Errol
No, he
Spence in
said boxer.
totality. No, that's what I'm saying.
Boxer.
But what I'm saying is, Earl Spence is not a quote unquote pure better boxer than Terrence Bud Crawford, which means that in order for him to win that fight, it has to be a fight, not a boxing match, is what
Who?
I'm saying.
Who?
It don't have to be.
Spence. But
It don't
here's what I'm
have to
saying.
be.
I
It,
agree with you, Kwame. I
yeah,
agree with
it has
Kwame.
to be a fight, not a boxing match.
Yeah,
And
I
you're
agree with
saying
I'm gonna
Kwame.
tell you
you're
why
saying
after you
go
get
ahead.
done, brother.
Okay.
Yep.
You're stating that it don't have to be, but I think what you underestimate about Errol Spence is how great his footwork is offensively. How he keeps people say, "Oh, he's just walking everyone down. He's just mauling." His footwork is so elite, supreme,
I won't put it
offensively.
lead. I won't put a
No,
lead on that. He
from
good. He got. I know what he's
no.
doing.
From
Yeah.
offensively at his peak, because I did see some balance issues after the car accident against
Mm-hmm.
Danny.
Mm-hmm.
You follow what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
I could keep it a buck. I know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
talking about, right?
Mm-hmm.
But his footwork as an offensive fighter is supreme and elite. He can keep anyone in front of him. And the way that you know that is what he was able to do with a fighter like Floyd Mayweather in sparring, who has the best defense, who can go all over the ring, better than Bud Crawford can do, way better. But Spence is able to keep someone like Floyd like that in front of him because his offensive footwork is elite, and he will keep Bud Crawford in front of him the same way
No,
too.
he's excellent at cutting the ring off. It's
It's
the
not
difference.
just it's
He's
it's
Right,
excellent at
right.
cutting the
it's
ring off.
part of his
I
footwork,
I
Yeah.
say
it's
His
more than
footwork
just
ain't
that.
really
if I'm
all
a
that what you're saying, but I get what you're saying though. Like I really do get
I'm
what you're
saying
saying.
from an
it's yeah,
offensive
it's just
standpoint, for his
yeah.
style, it is
No, I
elite.
think yeah, I think that Spence is like it's more of cutting off the ring.
Cutting the
As
ring
far as
off.
footwork going agility, I don't think because if we're gonna go
Right.
back to
Right.
comparing the
Right.
two fighters with
Mhm.
Porter, Spence ain't gonna beat TC fighting like he fought Porter either. So we just can't say, oh, fight TC fought
Right.
Porter the way he did,
Right.
judging off that fight, he's not gonna beat Spence. But Spence was getting spun, Spence was getting dipped, Spence was off balance, Spence
Right.
was
Hmm.
getting hit.
Yeah.
So we can't say that either, bro. You know what I'm saying? It's about
Yeah.
who's gonna take. It's about it's about who's gonna take whose attributes away and assert theirs. May the best
Hmm.
southpaw win.
Right.
Who gonna out southpaw
That's
who?
what I think
And I
too.
think Bud, yeah, Bud is gonna switch up. He's gonna show Spence angles, and Spence is gonna go in that high guard, have to reset. TC gonna spin him and hit him all night, bro.
We gonna see.
He gonna
Hey,
hit him
look,
all
look.
night.
I'm gonna put it like
We gonna
this. I'm gonna
see,
put it like
Drake.
this. Spence fought. Spence fought Sean Porter, and his face was fucked up. And I heard a lot of people saying he didn't have to fight that fight. He just did it because he wanted to show him whatever. That's fine. Be that as it may.
Uh-huh.
If he fight this dude with that same game plan, bro,
Two
and
different
Sean Porter
styles.
ain't no big puncher, bro.
Two different.
We all know that.
First of all, what I'm gonna tell you again, there's a lot of there's factors that go into that. Number one, two different styles,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Mm-hmm.
Because that's Sean Porter wants to come forward. That's what he's best at doing.
He has to come.
And Spence met that with him coming forward as well. Bud Crawford knew that that's what Porter was good at doing, but like Drico said, he's excellent off the back foot, and he made Porter have to change doing that because of the skill set that he had, and he made him run into some shit. Now, what I'm saying with Earl Spence and Sean Porter is a couple different factors. Number one, Errol Spence, we all know, leading into the Mikey Garcia fight and leading into the Sean Porter fight, he had a gut. He was drinking. He was partying. He said he wasn't even doing. He dropped his strength and conditioning coach while he was out there partying. He said he wasn't even doing push-ups and sit-ups or nothing for Mikey. and with and that pissed me off as
So
I
he's not
say
taking
as a
his
support.
craft. He's not taking his craft seriously.
Exactly. And then when he fought, when he fought Sean Porter was training from the beginning of the year, like April. His dad had him basically in camp.
Two
Sean,
camps.
right, right. Errol Spence came into the gym fat again, puts up a sign on Instagram talking about no more fat boy. It was like 3 weeks into camp, and he didn't even have all his six pack out. It was just like the fat was going, and you're just now starting to see the top four. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Yeah.
So
He
he
definitely wasn't looking like
right
Porter and motherfucking Bud at the way in.
exactly. So when he went into that fight, think about it. There wasn't a whole lot of game planning. Spence, let me tell you something about Spence. Spence, I got two brothers that are Pisces. Spence is a Pisces. These guys will sound like they're listening to what you're saying, but they're gonna do what they want to do internally. And even though Derek James said, Spence said Derek James gave him a game plan. He said, "Nah, I just said fuck it. I want to fight Sean." Well, you know why he had to fight Sean? Because he wasn't in the best shape to even focus on Derek's game plan. He had to focus on not being fat and making weight. And then on top of that, he wasn't even in the gym the way he was supposed to be. And he admitted it was like, okay, I was just taking a break and I wasn't doing anything. And I just come to the gym.
And this is
Sean
who you
Porter,
choose to put your money on?
right. Well, but it's been events. There have been events that have seemed to have slowed him down from living as fast as he was living then. I don't know what he's doing
Is
now,
it?
but I just from what I could tell, he's not living as fast as he was living then because he's at least right now
He
he's
looked
still
like
in
it don't
shape.
take much
He's
to,
right.
to
He's
get him
still
in shape.
he's still in shape.
Yeah.
So
Brother,
regardless,
while you in that vein, I want you to say, okay, that was Porter, and I want you to say, well, he didn't train right against Porter. While you in that vein, I want you to say the same thing about Mikey, because he tried to knock Mikey out too.
yeah, but he
So
didn't
them
train
was
right for
two
Mike. But he didn't train
years
right for
apart.
Mikey either. He didn't do the same
Oh,
thing for
that's
Mikey
what we
either.
said.
Right.
That's
And this is who you
me and
choosing to
Goon
put your
said.
money on.
Yeah, but
Just
go ahead. But we're in a different time. So again, we're in a different time. So
Drake, you caught what I
those
said?
fights were 2 years
unfor-
apart.
right.
Yeah, I
Did y'all
caught
catch
you.
what I said?
What?
I said, y'all, did y'all catch what I said?
Go ahead. What you
I
say?
caught
And
you.
this is who you choose to put your money on.
Yeah, because
You see
times are
what I'm
different.
saying?
Listen, times are different, and I'm too committed anyway. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
That's the wrong logic of thinking. You're a
Yeah,
smart dude. Yeah.
but what I'm telling you is that I'm not my mind and my heart aren't in conflict with picking Earl Spence.
Okay.
See, when he fought Sean Porter, my mind and my heart started to become in conflict because he wasn't doing the shit he needed to do. And I said, you cannot. One of the things I remember Andre Ward saying was like, when you get in that ring, the extra mile you were supposed to run,
Yep. It all come back.
that all show up. And I was like,
It all come back.
right. And I'm saying to myself, this motherfucker is going into fat camps and
Yeah.
motherfucking Bud Crawford never
Just to
leave
lose
the
the
gym.
weight.
Right.
Just
That's what
to
I'm
lose the
saying.
weight.
So what I'm saying is that fighting a guy as elite as Bud, you're gonna need to be all the way there. And I knew if he got in the ring the way he got in there with Sean Porter, then it was like he's not all the way there. You know what I'm saying? That's why at that point I was like,
You know what I think it is, bro? I'm
That's
gonna keep
why
it a
Goon.
whole band
That's
with you.
why
This is what
Goon.
I think it is with you.
mm-hmm,
I think because you started out rocking with dude,
mm-hmm.
because like you're a smart dude. Like I know you're a smart dude. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, on one hand, you got a dude that's fucking just killing shit in the gym when he don't got to fight. Like he probably in the gym right now or tomorrow
Mm-hmm.
or whatever, right? Then you got a guy, he can do all this shit if he do it. It's hard for me to put my money on. I'm always go with my money and not my heart.
Right. I'm
So
saying
you
what?
can change your pick or whatever. Like right now, I don't think dude doing what he need to do or whatever. So I smart money. I gotta live with the motherfucker that's in the gym, and the resume speaks volumes. Even though people won't give him credit, he knocking out everybody.
And you got to understand, I did that because after he fought Sean Porter, I posted on Facebook, "Hey, I like all my bets with Spence is off because I'm not gonna back
Talking about
something."
last night?
No. After he fought Porter, after Spence fought
Oh,
Porter,
Spencer.
I had went on Facebook was like, all my bets
Yeah, you
with
did do that.
Spence is off
Yeah, you did do
because
that.
I didn't trust his actions, not because it was a close fight and he wasn't who I thought he was. He wasn't who I thought he was outside of the ring, or he had lost who he was. Because when he was going into the Kell Brook fight and he wanted that championship, like hungry to get that title
He's
shot,
hungry for
it
that
was
bitch.
it was a 9-month layoff, and this motherfucker looked like a GI Joe figure every day.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? He was in and that's what made him special, along with what how he fights and what he's able to do.
Can
I
I
know
ask
that.
this though? Can I ask
Uh-huh.
this though? Let's just say the next fight is Bud and him. Does he win without Blu-ray first? In your opinion, not your heart, just your opinion. Does he win without Blu-ray?
I would say he can win without Blu-ray, but he has a higher probability of not winning without Blu-ray because
Okay.
against Bud Crawford, he needs
Everything.
everything
He need everything.
that he
They both
has.
need everything.
Yeah,
They both.
exactly. Because Bud is gonna come with everything.
Yeah.
Do you see what I'm saying? And
Mm-hmm.
I'm not shitting on Earl. Earl, look, Earl was an Olympian before he met Blu-ray,
Mm-hmm.
but when we already saw it when he was training for just Pacquiao coming up, and the pictures was coming out, what type of fucking shape he looked in again. He had that look like when people say he was on roids and all of that
Mm-hmm.
shit all
Yeah,
over again.
his name came up in that too.
You know what I'm saying? So my
Bro,
so
no offense,
uh,
no offense, but push-ups and sit-ups ain't never kicked nobody ass before. I
no,
mean, you
but
can have Blu-ray, Green Ray, Red Ray, whoever you want. It all boils down to what you do when you get in that ring, because you can only get
I
facts,
in that
agree,
ring by
but
yourself.
see
facts.
You
that's
see
why
what I'm
I asked
saying?
him that because I
Y'all,
wanted. It was a reason why I asked
Earl
the
is
question.
undisciplined. Earl is not disciplined inside or outside the ring. He don't listen to Derek inside the ring or outside the ring.
I don't agree
He
with
he
that.
don't do what he's supposed to do
You say he don't
inside the
listen to
ring.
Derek Drake?
I mean,
Nah, I don't agree with that
yeah,
You
part.
he
say you
don't
said he
listen to
don't listen
Derek
to Derek?
Nah.
inside. He don't listen to Derek inside the ring or outside the
Why
ring.
you say that,
That's
Drake?
apparent right there.
Why you say that, Drake?
Because the directions he gave him, even fighting Kell Brook, the directions that Derek gave him when fighting Sean Porter, he didn't listen to those directions. He didn't listen to the game plan. He got the win though, but
Are
he
you,
didn't even listen to the game plan.
bro? Are you serious right now?
Really?
The only fight
Yeah.
that
Real. I'm
No,
talking
first of all,
I
bullshit.
the
Charlo
reason
ass
let
don't
me
listen to
first of all
Derek.
the reason why I'm able to even associate Derek James with being such a great trainer in my eyes
I like
is
Derek James.
because of the plan that he puts out and how Earl goes and executes that plan.
No, I
Right?
say Charlo don't listen to him. I think Earl
Exactly. Now
listen to him.
Charlo don't. Now there
Oh,
was
he
one
definitely done.
where
Yeah, Charlo don't listen to him.
there was to me there was only one instance where Earl didn't listen to Derek, and that was against Porter because he couldn't
What do
because
you
he
mean?
was
What do you mean he could? I'm
because
lost. Explain that.
because he wasn't planning on, like, he didn't prepare the game plan correctly because he was in fat camp and he wasn't
Oh,
as focused. It's not only that he was in fat camp. If you come out of listen,
So what I
I don't
said was right, right?
not no it wasn't no it wasn't.
say that again.
For,
I ain't hear you, Drake. What you said?
he
I
said
said
that he
so. What
doesn't
I
listen.
initially said when he don't listen to Derek
No, I said it
inside
was
or
only
out the ring, I was right, right?
Oh,
listen. He has 20. How many fights he got now? Is it 29? I think he's got no
close to 30.
28 or 29
Yes.
fights.
Yeah.
So if in 28 and 29 fights, if we found one fight where he didn't do what his corner told him to do, you
Oh,
can't
that's
say
yeah.
that
Yeah.
you can't say he don't listen to his coach
Yeah.
because
Just one
there's one
time.
fight. There's no fight that you could go back to, and Kell Brook is definitely a fight you can't go back and say that about
Bro,
because
if I rob one bank, I'm a bank robber. You see
Oh,
what I'm
that's
saying?
not
So that's just what it
that's
is.
just listen.
facts.
That's so all right. Okay,
Facts.
so let me ask you a question then, right? So just because if one time you don't have an elite performance, does that mean you're not an elite fighter? Let's just
Good
say you an
rebuttal.
elite
Good
fight.
rebuttal.
Say you an elite fighter,
Good
right?
rebuttal. Good
Say like
rebuttal.
Shakur, like for instance, Shakur Stevenson. Not his last fight against Heron, but before that,
The
everyone was
fight.
shitting on him,
Yeah.
right?
I was
And they
one.
said, "Oh,
I
you
was
know, it's
one.
boring." Blah 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 blah.
Mhm.
Does that make Shakur Stevenson no longer an elite fighter because he had one
No, we
performance?
get jokers a fucked up performance, bro.
Right.
Yeah.
So you can't use that just because you see one fight where Errol didn't listen to Derek that he don't listen to his coach in the ring. That's not true at all. You know what I'm saying? He couldn't listen to Derek because he he couldn't execute Derek's game plan because he came into training camp saucy and out of weight, off weight, and he
Listen,
focused on
bro.
making
Listen, we're
weight.
not gonna let you do that, bro.
No, 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 no.
Because
That's
he a
no,
professional, bro.
but
He's a professional.
I'm not. Listen, I'm not saying that he's not a professional and he
Yeah,
shouldn't be
we can't
doing
do
that.
that now. We can't do
What
that.
I'm saying is, this is why I attribute him not listening to Derek. He had to make weight. This is all on him. It had nothing to do with Derek. He had to make weight. A person like Sean Porter, who's unorthodox, like you seen how Bud
Yeah.
fought him, you can't be in camp. The reason Bud was able to fight him like that is because Bud has
shape.
a, but right. Bud's not in a situation where he's not in a situation where he's has to focus his whole camp on losing weight going into a fight with someone as awkward as Sean Porter. He's already on weight. He's
working on the fundamentals.
He didn't come into the gym with mileage of 2 or 3 months of partying on him and now just finally getting into boxing. His mind and all that is already there, and that's why I give my kudos to him. But with Spence doing that going into the Porter fight, he couldn't listen to Derek. That's why he had to just go out there and fight Sean Porter, and that's why his face was all busted up like that. Because he just went in there and fought him because that's all he could do.
Well, look, I got him. Oh, I know you gonna say this.
Hey, brother, I just got an emergency call. I don't want to cut you guys off. I just got an emergency call. I'm gonna hit y'all back if I can.
Okay.
It might take me a minute, but man, salute to y'all, man.
All right,
salute
bro.
to the chat.
Okay.
All right, fam.
Yeah. Go ahead. Goon.
I think he can outbox. He could outbox Sean Porter. He didn't have to fight that fight.
He had to. He couldn't outbox Sean Porter.
He can outbox Sean Porter.
You talking about Spence, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, he can, but he couldn't that night. Not that night. He couldn't have. He can, but that night he couldn't have.
Yeah.
Okay. Sean Porter. Sean Porter.
I see where you're going with it.
Sean Porter was in camp from like April. This fight was in like October or something like that. Sean Porter was in camp since April. Errol Spence was doing whatever he was doing, partying that led him to being that all the way up to his time to walk in the door.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
His biggest battle was to get on weight.
This biggest battle was him. It wasn't, and that's why when I said Bud is coming into the fight in shape physically, spiritually, and mentally, that's what I mean. When Errol came into the Porter fight, he wasn't in shape in any of those ways. He just rushed to get in shape to make a fight.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why when those two attributes, when they meet each other, I would have to pick Bud in that regard. Do you see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
When he came in there with Porter came in like that. Porter was just the same way Kenny knew about Bud. He knew about Spence. He was in the Olympic. He knew what it was. That's
they didn't
why
want
he
to fight
did that
Spence back then.
Right. And that's why he had his son in camp so freaking early.
Be ready.
That's why. But that guy didn't show up. The guy who digressed from living too fast, that's who showed up in the ring. You know what I'm saying? And it is what it is.
The extra mile that you ain't run showed up.
The extra 20 miles you ain't run from all those. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that's not making an excuse for him because he has to own that and walk in that. That's what he did.
He definitely got to own that.
You know what I'm saying? That's not making no excuse. I'm just saying when him and Porter met in the ring, that's what met in the ring. You know. So again, now with Spence and Bud, at least I don't know what Errol Spence do every day. Mainly, most people really don't know.
Don't care. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
You know, but what I do know is that whatever he's been doing now is not the same as what he was doing back then going into the Porter fight, because you can just tell by what kind of shape he's in. And he hasn't fought in a year. You can just tell by the type of shape he's in. You know, and he just went through a training. He just went through a training camp as well that, you know, he didn't fight Pacquiao. Mm-hmm. So already that's not we're not getting that same guy that was going into the Porter fight. We're not getting that guy.
Hey, question. Was Blu-ray in his camp for that Pacquiao fight?
Yes.
He was? They was together on that camp?
Yeah, they were.
Okay. I didn't know. Yeah.
Yeah, I spoke to Blue, man, and Blue told me
You
Blue
can't
told
stop a
me.
fight.
He said I was like Blue, how Earl looking? He said he gonna hurt Manny Pacquiao.
Mm,
He said I said well, I'm just saying like his type of focus. He was like, no, he's locked in. He understands what this is.
mm-hmm.
He rented a, this is the first time he had kept away from his kids and all. He was locked in. Because
Yeah, bro, you gotta be.
yeah, he
That's
was
like
right, he was locked in. So now if that guy was just existed just for Manny Pacquiao, I don't see anything crazy. Ain't no picture showing up. People are alluding, oh, he's drinking, he's doing this, but I don't see the effects of what I saw previous pre-fight on Errol Spence
we won't
today.
know.
He
We
looked in
won't know.
shape at the fight.
Yeah.
He
Yeah,
looked
he
in
did
shape.
look good yesterday.
He
Yeah, he
looked
did.
in shape at the fight.
He did. He did. Real shit. He did.
You know. So,
Hey, did you see what John Applegate just said?
what's your opinion? Did Kenny put a stop to fight against Crawford, but not Spence? Well, he didn't have a reason to stop the fight against Spence. I mean,
He
what
wasn't ever
sense?
in no trouble like that.
What sense is it? What are you talking about? He wasn't in
Maybe he talking
trouble.
about allude to the knockdown, but that knockdown was more a balance issue. He got
Uh,
caught coming
no,
in.
no. Spence, listen,
The
Blu-ray and I,
uppercut he got hit with, he lunging
listen,
in.
Blu-ray and I spoke about this, right? It's that Spence wasn't doing any strength and conditioning because Blue said look, he hit Sean flush on the chin, and even though his eye went in his head, he still came back up because he wasn't punch. Listen, the punch, the Earl Spence that was throwing those type of hooks and punches at Kell Brook, Sean Porter would have reacted way differently to that. That clean hit to the chin, but Spence, he wasn't. He ain't himself. That fight, he's not himself, and it's self-inflicted. If we just gonna be honest, it's self-inflicted.
Bingo. That's why I said, like, bro, that's why I'm like, I don't like for all the accolades and credit we get Mayweather for being that motherfucker that run after the club and don't drink and all that.
Oh
Like
yeah,
the man took his craft serious, bro.
yeah.
Like whatever they say about him,
There's nothing you can. There's really nothing
yeah.
you can say about Floyd
And like,
Mayweather.
bro, he's that guy. Like you
Yeah,
just gotta give him up his flowers, bro.
yeah. There's not really much you can say about Floyd Mayweather, and the reason being is that even though people say when you at the top, you see it. When you're
Mm-hmm.
the top guy, you pick who you
You the
fight.
hunted. You the hunted now.
Well, not just that. I'm just talking about from a business aspect as well as when you're the top guy like a Canelo. When you're in that driver's seat, you pick who you fight,
Yeah, it's a
right?
business, man.
Exactly. And
Yeah.
Mayweather, if we being honest, Mayweather being a way older fighter than Canelo, he picked better fighters to fight than Canelo to this point. You know what I'm saying? He did.
Mm.
When do we see Mayweather fight a Yildirim or a Caleb Smith or a
Berto.
Fielding or
Berto.
I said that was his last fight after he fought
I
Manny
know, but
Pacquiao.
we, you know me. I feel he deserved it, you know, because he had to
Yeah,
fight all
well,
these cats.
but yeah, but
Yeah,
Canelo's not in that stage of his career. Canelo's in the stage
true.
of his career where you say Floyd Mayweather was fighting. I would
He
say
fought household names. Like
more like
everybody he
yeah,
fought, y'all know the name of that motherfucker that he
right,
fought.
right,
Yeah,
and that's what I'm saying. Canelo ain't do that. You know what I'm saying? Canelo fought people that weren't household names because he could sell to an entire country. You know what I'm
yeah.
saying? So that's my point. It's like when you at the top, you get to pick who you want to fight.
Mm-hmm.
So it there's just so much to unpack though with everything yesterday. I'm so upset Drico left, but it's gonna save it for another show for us to do.
Yeah, I'll let
Cause
you come back
because
to it. I'll
because I
remind you.
yeah,
I'll remind you.
because Drico really lives in Brooklyn, Nebraska.
Oh, here you go with this
You,
shit.
you know what I'm saying?
Here
He
you go
live in
with the
Brooklyn,
shit.
Nebraska, right? And
Why you
right
say that,
now,
bro?
oh, because it's true. It's true. Drico physically may live in a different state, but mentally and spiritually he lives in Nebraska.
You so stupid, bro.
It's the truth. But
Why
it's
you
the
say that though, bro?
truth.
Why you say that, man?
Have you heard Drico say one positive thing about Errol Spence in the last 2, 3, 4, 5 months?
Yeah, he said it today.
What?
That he could box. He said earlier when I was like he could have boxed Porter if he wanted to. He said yeah, he could have boxed him.
Listen, he's been so influenced by over there, bro. It they share the same narrative because right now Drico is talking about Errol Spence running and he punked for running from the fight, and it's so easy to
When did you say
explain.
that?
Oh, and he's been posting that all over Facebook. He's also I gotta add. I'm
Oh,
gonna add you to the Loyal to the Game admin chat. I mean, he been going
okay.
in.
Yeah, because
He been going in.
I ain't, I was
I'm
I
gonna
ain't
add
seen
you.
that, bro.
Yeah. So because that's what I was. That's what I was waiting for. But
Oh,
we started to have.
you setting up something.
But we had such a good conversation going on that we had time to get to it. But Drico left. But so
Okay.
we'll say that. But right now, the Bud Protection Committee, that's the narrative that they're running with, though. Oh, first it was like Earl is
I don't think
because
nobody protecting them. I think they want to see the fight too, bro. I'm
no,
being honest. Like on both
I
sides.
think everyone wants to see, but
Yeah,
I'm
everybody,
just
bro.
saying that group of people, the Bud Protection Committee. I'm not saying they want to protect him from Earl Spence because they want the fight to
They want to
happen.
fight. Yeah.
Absolutely, they feel real
Yeah.
confident after what they saw yesterday.
I
But
think they was confident before that.
listen, I feel they was confident too, and they have every right to feel confident. Bud's an excellent fighter. That doesn't
Mhm.
make sense. My issue with them is their narratives behind why they're
You don't
confident.
like the narratives.
Yeah, it's the narratives. It's not.
So
It's
which
like
narrative you don't like?
it's
Don't
just
put that shit
like
out there for me.
it's like no matter what he does, no matter whatever Spence does, he's scared, right? Because before they were saying that he was scared and he wasn't going to even come to the fight. Now he came to the fight.
You know, I kept like, bro, what does it matter? Like, remember, I kept saying, like, yeah, if he come to the fight, like, what does it matter, bro? Like,
Right,
what does it matter?
right.
We just want these dudes to fight. I know I do.
All I know is this: the last fight that Errol Spence had, Bud Crawford went to the actual fight. The last fight that Terrence Crawford had, Errol Spence went to the actual fight. That is a great thing.
Okay. I
That
think we should
means,
just leave it at that. Like,
yeah,
you
you
know
know
what
what
I'm
I'm saying?
saying?
And that's what I'm saying. I respect you for that, but they
Yeah.
run with these narratives now. Oh, he ran after that happened.
No, when they were saying that, even I was like, bro, that shit don't matter, bro. You
Right.
know what I'm saying? Like,
And all I'm doing is I'm just explaining. Like people say he ran, but again, we saw that ESPN. If you look back at Terrence Crawford's last fight before this, before Porter, he fought against Kell Brook. There wasn't even anyone in the stands due to COVID.
yeah.
But their entire production that they entertained everyone who watched the fight on ESPN was about Errol Spence. They had clips of Errol Spence fighting Kell Brook. They was talking about champions and that don't want to fight Bud, and they put it to they showed Errol Spence after he beat Kell Brook. They was asking who's a better fighter. They kept trying to ask that. That they asked Bud at the end, who do you want to fight? He said Manny Pacquiao. They said ESPN was like, more than Errol Spence? And he
Yeah.
said yes. You know what I mean? And
But
I don't feel like
even on that, I'm like, bro, he
that
didn't say
makes
nothing
sense.
wrong because
Yeah, but
Pacquiao
he's
is
the
the
cash, he's the money,
like
and he was
that's
trying
a
to,
layup for me.
and that was the thing. He was leaving, and everyone wanted to get their ka-ching in with him before he left. And there's nothing wrong with that, which shows that boxing, you know what I'm saying,
It's a
is a
business.
business.
Yeah.
It's a business. So I don't have an issue with that. But what I'm stating to you is that the effort on ESPN's part is what I want you to recognize.
No, and I do.
It's
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
they promoted all of that, right? And then
For
think about
this,
this.
for you to do this,
Right. Think
yeah,
about this. They did all of that to make it seem like, oh my God, Errol Spence, we want Errol
it's
Spence.
next. Yeah.
Right. And then on an ESPN top right fight, Errol Spence comes to the arena. He's in there, and they never even showed him until he left.
That's the only thing I don't like about that, bro. I hate he left like that because I don't want nobody to have nothing to try to reach for. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know they was gonna ask him the questions about the fight. You feel what I'm saying? Like, I hate he left because you
ESPN
know they
was
were going to ask him the question about the
no, they
fight.
weren't. They weren't because they weren't
You don't
because
think
they
ESPN would have
no
allowed them to do it?
because if they would have shown. Listen, tell me what fight you've ever watched in boxing in the history since you've been watching any boxing, especially high level elite boxing where you have a big fight like a Crawford and a Sean Porter. It is very common, basic knowledge that at any fight like that, if you have celebrities, boxers, world champions, older world champions, even ex-world champions who may have lost
I
three or
got you
four
right now.
fights, They put the camera on all of these guys in between rounds, and people cheer or they boo or whatever. Why didn't they do that last night when Errol Spence was there, to the point where at the end of the fight, even Bud said, "Oh, he here?" He
No,
didn't
he
even
was
know
being
he was.
sarcastic. He was being sarcastic.
No,
He
he
knew he was
wasn't
there.
being sarcastic. No, he really didn't know he was there.
I think he knew.
No, he didn't.
But I'm gonna tell you why I don't agree with you on that.
Okay.
Because remember, it was two different networks. It was HBO and Showtime with Kovalov and the Black Superman, Adonis Stevenson, whatever, right?
Uh-huh.
And them dudes got in the ring with each other, and they was on, you know what I'm saying? So it could have happened, bro. Like, I understand what you're saying. Maybe Top Rank told them don't ask them no questions. I don't know. Or whatever. Show them, don't ask them no questions. I don't know, whatever the shit is, but we have seen with two different networks, jokers get in the ring like, yeah, I want to fight you.
Okay.
You know, we have seen that.
Yeah. But again, we have other factors, right? You have Bob Arum, who clearly stated that that fight was not going to happen. That Spence didn't want that fight, and they're clearly showing you, even in their promotion with Bud, they're showing you Josh Taylor.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah.
then at the beginning, of the ESPN at the beginning, they never invited Errol Spence up there to talk. They invited Josh Taylor up there to talk,
Mm-hmm.
because that's the direction that they're going in, because it's just probably known.
Keeping that belt over there, bro.
No, it's not that. It's just
It is
probably
that.
no. Listen. It's probably understood that ESPN and Fox are not going to do business on that fight. I think that's understood at this point.
Maybe right now.
No, it's not right now. I think it's just understood.
Period?
Because because
So they're not
Arum,
making that fight.
because Fox isn't gonna want to. And on top of it, it doesn't make any financial sense, because Crawford don't have the numbers for it to be frugal and Spence together. For it to be frugal to be they don't have the proof yet for that. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's nothing documented to say that, damn, if these guys fight, we see data that shows that there's going to be 800,000 pay-per-views.
I'm gonna be real, bro. We just a product of our environment right now with the streaming and everything. Because think about it, before all these Fire Sticks and everything was going up, people was buying these. You know, we had like the little black boxes and shit like that, but it wasn't like the Fire
Stick. How it is now. Yeah, it's
right.
Crazy now.
So that fight would have sold back in the day. You know what I'm saying? Like before this shit, because everybody want to see the fight. But now these dudes ain't gonna nearly make the money that they would have made.
Right.
We know that. You know what I'm saying? So just fight, bro.
I'm with you. And all I'm saying is that in order to see this fight, it's on Terrence Crawford at this point. It's
on both of them, bro.
No, well, of course, but it's more Terrence Crawford, because this fight is going to be fought on the PBC platform. He just admitted now that he ain't with Top Rank no more.
I was going to ask you that, because y'all kept trying to get me like, bro, I got to see it for myself.
Yeah, I showed it to you.
You know,
it came out his mouth.
So I looked at it, and Bob Arum was right there, bro.
Right next to him, and you saw his body language. He's leaning sideways.
He was like slumped
over and stuff. Yeah,
and I think Bob know he fucked up.
He knows. He
fucked up,
he knows. He said so much foul shit and all of that, and he knows.
But see, you say that shit out of anger.
Right.
And shit. Like, but you know, slave mentality shit. Like,
right.
What the fuck? You know,
right. It wasn't
how
even
dare you?
Yeah, it wasn't, and it was more ego than anger. It's like, you know,
so
how
was
dare
that
you?
True that he was giving him $1 million every year that he didn't get the Spence fight? Is that some real shit?
I don't know. I don't know the details on it. I was under the impression that he had $1 million. He gets $1 million if Bob never makes. If it doesn't, I don't know about every year, but I don't know. I'm just saying that was a rumor that was out there. But me personally, I didn't see no contract. I don't know the terms.
Gotcha.
But what I will say is that now at this point, if PBC is a platform that this fight is going to be fought on, that makes it a whole lot easier with negotiations.
I agree.
Wait, because you don't got all this stuff. So it's one thing, one finance, one pot. How does it get divvied up? And what has to happen now is that Bud and Spence, or Bud and the PBC who's representing Spence, have to come to an agreement. They have to come to an agreement. And the ego about 50-50 or 60-40 or my
those
way.
Fighters, bro. Like,
but that's not gonna make a fight. That's not gonna make the fight.
Yeah, I know that.
He has to get, and this is what I'm thinking is gonna happen, which I feel is the wrong move. but the fight's still gonna happen. I won't say it's the wrong move. It might be the right move for Bud and how he feels and who he is. It might be the right move for him. I feel like what he's gonna do is he's gonna hire MT Clay Global, the people he went out into Dubai, and he's gonna
Mhm.
get them to try to make the Spence fight for him.
That wouldn't
That's
be a,
what's
that wouldn't be
that's
a bad idea though.
but I think that he's still not under any promotional company. He's under management company, and these
He
people are
got
gonna
bro on some real shit. I think I told somebody that the other day. I would love to have it like that if I'm a fighter right now and not be
right.
locked into a, you know what I'm saying?
Exactly, and that's
That
what's getting ready to happen. But
yeah,
but what I'm going to tell you is the fight's going to happen if because PBC and MTK Global, they're going to be negotiated, and it's not going to
yes.
be Aram in there
For
saying
me, it gotta
oh blah blah
happen.
blah. You got to know I 40-40 or blah and all it. That's not going to go on because you see, like I said, even with Al and Canelo Alvarez, negotiations fell apart for a little bit. They came back. They're gonna get it done. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? Like it'll get done correctly. You know,
I don't
and
want to see that fight in 2023, bro.
no, it has to happen
It
now.
gotta
In
happen in
2000, yeah,
22
it
for
has
me,
to
bro.
happen. It has to happen in 22.
Yeah,
So
for me.
yeah. So all I'm going to say is that the fight will happen that way. It can happen that way. So he's lined up. That's why I'm saying it's on him. You know what I'm saying? It's on him because PBC does have when it ain't dealing with Aram for the most part. Because I can go back to Tank and Tevin Farmer. They fucked that up to me because because it was the fact that they didn't want Tank to fight on the zone.
Bro,
They
I'm
wanted,
sorry, bro.
yeah.
Mayweather Productions is full of some bullshit, bro. Like,
Oh yeah.
at least, bro, Tank could at least fought Tevin Farmer, bro. Like,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying, bro?
Yeah, he
Come
wanted all the
on,
money
man.
though. It
Man.
yeah. Mayweather didn't just want his promoter cut the way it was going to be done that way. You know what I'm saying? He wanted to control everything. And that's what it was all about. And now with this fight happening, it's not really about someone has to control everything. It's there's only one entity. So now it just a deal needs to be made.
Right.
And and personally, right? His best bet is to do it through Al, which he's not going to do because he got a problem with them still. It's personal for him. Like the shit wasn't business. But personally, he should do it through Al. And the reason why, hear me out, Goon, on this
I hear
is
you. I hear you. I'm listening.
the setup that Al will have him in is it's going to be the biggest fight of his career, the hugest payday he's going to get to date. And if he do it through Al, it's going to be the same business model where it's going to be like Terrence Bud Crawford Promotions that helps co-promote it. He's gonna cut. He's gonna make way more money if he do it that way. He's gonna make way more money than he ever made. If he go through MTK Global, not so much. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? They're gonna have it all structured in a certain way because you look at Canelo. Canelo went over there and just did it through Al. It's not like he signed with Al, but he was so
Right.
big. He went and just did
Fight
it
by
through
fight
Al.
basis. That shit
Yeah,
popping, bro.
yeah. And look, he made so much bread. He's gonna. I bet you this. Canelo is gonna fight more PBC fighters going forward for paydays because that was a big payday he got. 800,000 pay per views, 40 million
Oh,
guaranteed.
that's how much they made over that fight?
Yeah, it was 800,000.
That's good in the streaming era, bro. For
Yeah,
real.
yeah. So that's a win. You know what I'm saying? So um, look, they for that fight to get made, Crawford just needs to get off the whole high horse about 50-50 my way. And you need to go in there and just make a deal.
Right.
Make a good deal for yourself. Take the ego part of it out and make the best. Now that you no longer have Bobby Aram on your back anymore, now you go make the best possible deal
For
for
you.
yourself.
For you.
You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? After I gotta have this and 50, 60, 40, like that don't matter. Now, I mean a realistic deal. Tell me if this sounds unfair or unrealistic. If let's just say, for instance, you believe that Terrence Crawford is going to beat Errol Spence, right? You believe that, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So let's just and I'm pretty sure Terrence Crawford believes that he's going to beat Errol Spence.
Mm-hmm.
So why not do what hold on one second. why not do a deal where, let's just say, even if you took 60-40, y'all have a 2-fight deal signed, there's a rematch clause signed in there. You have it set up to where if you win, you get the lion's share. You feel what I'm
The
saying? And
next
now
time around on the
and
next
for the
fight.
next time around, that's a great deal. You know what I mean, which is realistic. But
For us, but maybe not him though. Like
yeah,
that's why
but
I always go back to that. Like I
I
feel you. I feel you like a mug, but
yeah,
you can never tell another man what his worth is.
I know, and listen, I could dig that 100%. But you need to make the fight. You're 34 years old.
Yeah, yeah,
And
34. The
and the
time is
stuff
not
that
on your
people are
side.
talking, and the stuff that people are talking, like for instance, what I just proposed to you is not any rational situation.
For me,
It's
for me, I'm like,
yeah,
shit,
it
let's
makes
get it.
sense. But
Yeah.
and that's where you have to go and ask yourself. Also, with Terrence Crawford, is when he takes positions like that, is do you really want the fight? And I'm not saying it from a standpoint of like, are you scared? Do you want to fight? I'm just saying,
Both of them definitely ain't scared,
right.
bro.
It's just like, do you want to fight? Because that shit ain't
Bro,
important.
it's
If you,
egos though. You know what
yeah,
I'm saying? Ego's a bad motherfucker, bro.
yeah.
You know,
But I
on
feel
both
like,
parts.
yeah, I feel like the whole ego part of it for him in this specific situation was,
Bro, they the face of the welterweight division.
yeah.
Come
But I
on,
think
bro.
his stance was very much so influenced by Bob Arum, because he was with him, and the only way the fight was going to be made is if it was made under those stipulations, and they just weren't moving off of that.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? It was like,
Mm-hmm.
no, let's get it done. I'm trying to make money. Terrence Crawford's like, I'm getting this money with ESPN. Let's get it done because I
Why
could
this
get
cap? I
paid.
heard that boy was getting paid over there though.
Yeah. Oh,
So, you
I'm
know,
pretty sure he was. That's why
yeah.
they mad. They said they could have bought a house in Beverly Hills and all that shit.
We didn't get
That
your
means he
ass.
was making money. That means he was
That
making
boy
money.
making money. Yeah, he making
Yeah.
money.
And I'm
But
not.
they gotta pay him because you can't let him go to over there.
Well, the reason that they had to pay him is because he was one of the big focal points for Bob Arum getting the money from ESPN to begin with.
Bingo. Because that's the pound for pound guy.
They had to pay him. That's why they came out all smiles. Oh, he signed this deal and blah blah blah, and it was
Mhm.
a big thing.
It's
But it was
lucrative.
like,
It
right.
was good money.
Well, it was more of it was more of he was part of a plan that was pitched to ESPN.
Right.
A big part of
He was a
that plan.
pawn in that.
Yeah,
Bob
yeah.
used that.
But it was, yeah.
You know,
Bob was about
Bob used
self
that.
preservation. He was about saving his company. That now HBO went out of business.
Bro, Bob, yeah, bingo. I
That's
like
what it
that.
was
I like
about.
that. I like that.
It was about
I
saving
like
his
that.
company, and this was
Yeah,
how he had to present it. He
yeah.
had to present it as Terrence Crawford,
You
this
got
and that.
Disney money. You got Disney
Right,
money now.
right,
Bingo.
right.
Yeah,
But
I'm with
but
you.
it's even more crazier and more dark when you taking money from corporations that huge and that powerful. And the pressure, let me tell you something. The pressure was coming down on
I
Bob
just said
Arum.
that. That's that
Yeah.
Disney money,
Yeah,
bro.
that's what I'm
Like,
saying. But
yeah.
that pressure was coming down on Bob Arum, and that's why he was throwing Terrence Crawford under the bus. Because the pressure was coming down to him like,
He, he
where the
wouldn't have
fuck is our
did
money?
Lomo like that.
Yeah. Well, yeah,
You know it for
exactly.
a fact. He wouldn't have did Lomo
But
like that.
he didn't sell Loma the same way he sold Bud. He
Yeah,
sold
he
he
oversold Loma.
he oversold Bud.
No, I mean, I get what you're saying, but I'm saying like, far as promoting, it wasn't even
No,
close. Loma,
no,
he promoted the
he
fuck
just
out of
promote.
Loma
Yeah, yeah. But what I'm saying is to the aspect to ESPN, he oversold Bud. That's why he had to pay him like that.
because people know that Bud at that time was the best fighter in the world,
Well, he
and they
was,
got him on
yeah,
their roster.
right, exactly. But
Yeah,
him overselling him was basically like he probably had to tell ESPN and account for the loss he took with Bud, and saying they're saying, well, why we give this guy $4 million a year guaranteed if he only did one pay-per-view and it did 50,000. So in order to justify why they would pay him and and put him in that situation, it was like, well, how do we make money with this guy? Well, Bob Aaron was like, yeah, we gonna make this deal with him fighting Errol Spence. It's gonna be a huge fight, right? And I'm telling you, this is how the shit be work. They're telling this motherfucker Bob Aaron, well, okay, well, in order for us to justify, what we paying
X
this guy,
amount of dollars.
whatever, it
Yeah,
has to be a 50-50 deal. And it's also our rival. This is also Fox. You know what I'm saying?
when you trying to get
They
them
got
shit.
undisputed with Shannon Sharp. We got First Take. We're big time immediate rivals. We're not gonna
Competitors.
right. We're not gonna say, okay, we'll do 60-40 with those guys. It don't work like that high. You know what I'm saying? It's like it don't work like that. So Bob Arum was the biggest hindrance because he had to stick to that number. He had
Mhm.
to. He never budged. He
He
had to
had to
stick
be
to
a
that
stickler
number.
for that number.
He had to because that's what he had permission to do. You know
You
what I'm
could be
saying?
right. You might be on
I'm
something.
telling you, that's what it is, bro.
Yeah.
And and what I try to tell people is that you got to look at those corporations like a cartel. It's like they got this unlimited money, these billions and billions of dollars, right? And they'll give you some work. They'll
They
give
got a
you,
budget though,
but
but
right,
they
but
gonna give you a budget.
it's like when they give it to you, it's like you better bring that shit back the way you said you was gonna bring it back,
Right.
or
They ain't bullshitting with
they're gonna be unlimited heat.
it.
There's
Right.
gonna be unlimited heat. And Bob was dealing with the unlimited heat, and he threw the black guy, Terrence Crawford, under the bus. When he couldn't answer why they didn't make their money, and this guy contract is almost up. He
It's
got one more
almost over.
fight. It's like, wait a minute, we lost all this damn money. And when we was in the back negotiating to put this whole shit together, we saw that this guy only sold 50,000 pay-per-views, and you told us that this is what was going to happen, and
And
it didn't happen.
so you don't think last night was a little poetic justice? Last night?
I'm happy for Terrence Crawford, bro.
No, because you see how he did it, and he in the seat like, yeah.
I'm
And
happy.
Bob and that bitch like,
Bro,
Bob
he was
been like,
sitting
damn, the
sideways.
gig
He
is
was
up.
like,
The gig is up.
right. He was sitting sideways, looking crazy.
Yeah.
And it was all. It was like when you looked at it, it was like Bud was kind of turned away from him
Yeah,
too.
he was in there like, yeah, you
It
know.
was like Bud was turned away from him, and he was kind of turned to Bud.
But he was like,
But he was,
like this.
but he wasn't looking at Bud. He was
Right.
looking. He was looking down.
This
Yeah.
nigga just said that shit out
Yeah,
loud. Like,
but he knew it, and he
Yeah.
was waiting because he was sitting to wait to see what Crawford was gonna say,
mhm.
and so he can start promoting and saying a bunch of shit with ESPN.
What? No, with Josh Taylor shit.
Yeah,
was ready.
Yeah, because
He was ready, bro.
ESPN probably told that motherfucker the gig is up.
The
We're
gig
not
is up.
doing-
And
with
the way he
Spence.
was looking in the show like this,
Yeah, no, but what I'm saying is ESPN told Bob
the gig is up, bro.
The gig is up with Spence making a Spence fight. It's not happening. The gig is up. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's like the gig is up. This direction we going in. So we doing Josh Taylor, or how we gonna get the money back?
How we gonna spin this angle right here to make this shit look good?
Right.
People don't want to buy.
Right. So all I'm saying is more power to Bud. I'm glad he did what he did. He took control of his career. Bob
looked like he was about to have a fucking damn panic attack.
Yeah, that's the look. What Massa is when a slave got his walking
But
papers.
think about this
his
though.
freedom papers. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They try to treat you like shit while you there, but then when you leave, they
Now
realize
you
how much value you brought, and now they
Yeah.
like, oh, you really gonna leave me back here by myself?
But you gotta watch that motherfucker Bob though, bro.
I know.
You know what I'm saying?
I know.
You gotta watch that shit.
I know.
And that's what I was scared of last night, low key. That's when I kept referring to the cards and everything, bro.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
Facts.
gonna really take the champion belt like that?
Without a doubt.
You feel what I'm saying?
Oh, without a doubt. And that fight was close. But if it would have went to the cards, it could have.
That's my point.
Lost.
That's my point. Like,
but it did right. But it did it.
Oh, you about to leave? Okay.
Yeah, I'm just saying. It did it, and now we're able to go into the direction that we all want to see, which is those two guys fight. So I'm already getting prepared for it because I know that the fight most likely is gonna happen. It's gonna take a little bit of work, but it's definitely gonna happen. Both of these guys want to fight. You know what I'm saying? Both of them want to fight.
Man, we know that. I hate when one side be like, oh, he don't
want to fight. He ran, and like I'm like,
they want to fight.
They want to fight. It just needs to be right. You know what I'm saying? It just needs to be right for both. And I think with Bob,
well, think about it. Like you said, it's gonna be much easier if Bud is a free agent. Like if what he said last night is accurate, bro, and he can go fight by fight basis or whatever. I really think that's the best deal for him, honestly, to get the bag like that versus being locked into. Like, look, the zone gave Canelo Alvarez all that money, then tried to take it away. Like, no, you can't be fighting these nobodies, and we giving you fucking damn $40 million. Look, we need you to fight Triple G to get You know,
Right.
so you feel what I'm
Right.
saying?
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. At the end of the day, people be talking all this shit about, oh, the fighter want to do this. Those are the guys who are really in control. It's their money. If someone give you to sign a deal for 365 million or something,
You
trust and
know,
believe.
you got to get them 6 fights, and they gonna
Yeah,
win all 6 of
they
them fights, bro.
they feel like no. It's just like if you give someone money and they owe you money, it's like you got something over them. You
Mm-hmm.
feel me? It's like
Mm-hmm.
that's how it is
Yeah.
with ESPN. No matter how big Top Rank is, he ain't. They could acquire little Top Rank boxing with less than 1% probably their tax return over there at ESPN. You follow what I'm saying? Like they're huge. So Bob's not the real boss. He's not the real boss. You
No,
follow
he's
what I'm
just the
saying?
face. He's the face of the company, bro.
Right. He's the face,
Yeah.
and
He's fucking biting right now
right,
for the
and
United States.
yeah, he was getting directives from them, and he had to follow them, and it wasn't, it didn't happen, and I feel like now we in a place
It's
where
a good thing. It's a
it's
good
a
thing because
great
now
no,
we'll get the fight.
it's a
Now we'll get
great
the fight.
thing.
Yeah, we'll get the
Yeah,
fight
it's
now.
a good. So now, I think it's interesting, even with you saying that, because you a rational brother. That goes to show you that this whole narrative for all these years where Spence didn't want to fight him, now people saying, "Oh, the fight's going to happen." It's like I always said, it was
Yeah, we
Bob,
just hoping it's gonna happen. We don't
right?
know. We really
But
hoping.
we
Like it looks
hoping.
like it definitely happened right now.
Oh, okay. So let me ask you a question. From before last night, before he left Bob Arum and announced that,
Mm-hmm.
how to today, on a scale of 1 to 10, how much more confident are you that the fight can happen now on a scale of one
Now
to
that he
ten?
now that he
Now,
done left
now that
Bob,
he's yeah, yeah.
a 10.
Oh, what that tell you everything? Then it had nothing to do with Spence ducking him or being scared, or
See,
it's Bob. It's Bob.
well, see, you looking at that for that, and that ain't me. I
Right.
know it's more. I know it's more than Bob. Like I'm gonna be fair to say it's
Uh huh.
more than Bob why
Uh
that
huh.
fight would happen.
Uh huh.
You
Uh
know what I'm
huh.
saying?
Uh
But
huh.
be that as it may,
But he's the biggest part
now
of
we
it.
can get that mug. We can get that mug cracking right now. And think about this, bro. Think about this. It's a lot of fights that we didn't get that we wanted. I wanted to see
Facts.
Wilder AJ before AJ scared to get hit now. You know what I'm saying? I
Facts.
wanted all these fights and
Fights.
something
Right.
happened.
Right.
Bro, we can
Right.
get this. It's right now. We can get
Right.
this fight, bro.
Yeah. No, it's right. Yeah. See, like John Applegate said, a scale of 1 to 10, an 8.
That's
I
still
think that's
good.
yeah. That's incredible. So
It's still
what
good.
that show? You say a 10, he said 8. What that shows is I'm not. He's not saying that Bob Arum was everything, but if it goes all the way up to an 8, that shows that he was a big part of why it couldn't happen.
But you think Al wasn't too?
Yeah,
Let's
it
be
was.
real.
It
That's why I
was.
said it's
Yeah, yeah,
both
yeah, yeah.
sides.
It's both
It's both
sides. But
sides.
yeah, but here's the thing: Al isn't beholden to Bud. Bob is.
Mm-hmm.
It's not his job.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
we
yeah. I
can't
get it.
put it on Al because that's
I
not
get it.
his job to
I
do that.
get it.
You
Listen,
follow me?
Al ain't go. You know what I'm saying? Come on, bro. Al,
His
he ain't
job
gonna
is
let
to
him up.
get
Like, oh, we just gonna give you the fight? No,
right. Oh
you
no. We got our own company. We doing our own thing. We over
know.
here. We over
Y'all
here
ain't got
actually
y'all shit
making
together. Ain't my fault.
right. It's like we are actually over here making successful pay per views when y'all not. And then you got the nerve to come over here and say I want 50-50.
I get it. I get it, bro.
You know what I'm
I get
saying?
it.
Like, well, nah, we
I
good.
get
We
it.
just gonna keep doing what we doing over here. Y'all
I
figure
get it.
that shit out over there.
Well, now, bro, the ball in both sides
Yep.
corner now. Like, you know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? How
Yep.
bad we really want this fight,
Yeah.
bro?
Yeah. My guess is he's gonna go with MTK Global. My
Possibly.
guess is he's gonna go with MTK Global, and they're gonna negotiate the fight, and the fight's gonna get done. And I feel like the fight is gonna be a 2 fight deal,
Two fight
especially
deal.
is Spence is definitely gonna have a rematch clause.
Why wouldn't he? That would be
Yeah,
idiotic
it's
of
gonna be a
anybody
rematch
not to
clause
put
in
that
the
in there.
fight.
It ain't about being
Right,
scared.
and
It's
I think
about
it's
being
it's right.
smart,
It's gonna
bro.
be a 2 fight. It's gonna be a 2 fight deal.
Yeah.
And maybe possibly Crawford could get a rematch clause, but he's in the first fight. He's not gonna get a rematch clause.
I think it will be.
Nah, he
I think it
won't.
will be. Think
He's
about it.
not.
Think
Mhm.
about it. Spence gonna have the most belts, bro.
Yeah, and that's the point.
It's
That's
gonna be a
why.
rematch
That's why.
clause, bro.
Yeah, it's gonna be on PBC's. It's gonna be on PBC's platform. So Spence gonna have a rematch clause.
Yeah, Spence.
But
But
Bud,
yeah,
I don't feel that Bud's gonna get a rematch clause. I feel like if Spence beats Bud, they're gonna want Spence to just go to
go to
154, whatever he's
154.
doing. So
It
I
dep-
don't see
it depends on how the fight
right,
go. Any
right. So it's like
controversial shit.
right. It's like Bud to make his biggest paydays, he has to beat Spence and then have Spence have a rematch clause and they do it again.
Mm-hmm.
And then when they do it again, he makes even more money because
He didn't already done it. He didn't already done it.
exactly. And to me that's what I'm saying. I feel like that's the best possible situation. Not this 60-40 my way or 50-50 my way or the highway. I'm not saying that's what he has to do, but I'm just telling you, and realistically, in order for a deal to get done, it's gonna have to go somewhat along those lines.
It's negotiations. Nobody
It's
never get totally what
negotiations.
they want. Yeah,
Right.
like
It's negotiations.
yeah.
And the issue was that what I'm showing you now is that the why I say it's mainly Bob Arum's fault because Bob Arum wasn't willing to negotiate at all because he couldn't because he had to have, at least he had to have show it with 50-50 for that fight. And when anything was mentioned that wasn't 50-50, he wouldn't even entertain a negotiation, which made zero sense because if you look at things factually from a business standpoint, Terrence Crawford on paper didn't warrant any type of 50-50. It's like it's not even like he's with
It
PBC.
was the
He's with
same
another
Wilder
country.
and
Yeah,
AJ. It was the same
yeah,
Wilder and AJ thing. Like I couldn't believe that people were saying that Wilder deserved it 50-50. At the time, I'm like, it makes no sense, bro. Like it makes no sense.
yeah. Let me see.
This man got 4 belts. You got 1. How the fuck is you gonna get 50-50?
Frank Matthews says, "No, I don't think that would be a one-way rematch clause. It's gonna be a two-fight deal
Yeah,
with
2-fight deal.
PBC."
I thought we
Yeah,
said that.
yeah. I feel like it's gonna be. I feel like it would be a two-fight deal.
Yeah.
I know. I feel like it's gonna be a two-fight deal due to there being a rematch clause for Spence. It'll be a two-fight deal, but I don't feel it's gonna be just a we're fighting twice no matter what. I think it's a two-fight deal. If Spence loses, it'll be a
Mm.
two-fight deal.
Fury Wilder won. Was that a 2-fight deal, or was that just the second fight was just we had to have it because of the first fight?
I knew there was a rematch clause in there. I don't
No, I
know.
don't. He didn't have to give him a rematch after that
It
first fight.
couldn't. You know how you know? I'm gonna tell you something. You want me to tell you how I know it wasn't a two-fight deal in the way that
So
you guys
Wilder
are
did not
explaining
have to
it?
give him a shot back. Is what I'm saying.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And also, if it was a two-fight deal in that way, was like a two-fight deal with PBC, then Top Rank wouldn't have been able to swing in there like that and sign him because it was a
Tyson was a free agent after the fight.
right. And then Top Rank came and signed him and
Yeah.
did whatever. So
But they
again,
worked together. Like that. This is why I know this shit is bullshit. They worked together for that fight. You feel what I'm saying, bro?
yeah,
You feel what I'm
Cameron.
saying, bro? Come
Yeah,
on, man. Like
yeah. I gotta see if I
y'all
could.
can work together. Y'all
Let
can
me
do
see
that
if I
shit.
could. Let me. You know what? Let me see if I could find a way to send a link to Facebook because I only be. I'm gonna tell you this. You know what? Nah, Cameron Edwards, you could come in.
What happened?
Yeah, because Cameron Edwards is. He said, "Bring me in." Yeah, Cameron Edwards, you could come in, but what you got to do in order to come in is
Put
you
your
got to
name
go over
down.
to YouTube and subscribe to the Loyal to the Game Boxing on YouTube. And then once you show me a YouTube comment, I'll go ahead
And
and
boxing with the goon. And
boxing with
boxing
the
debate with the
goon.
goon. T
And
Bibs
and I'll go ahead and put a link
100.
in there. If you want a link, you have to subscribe to YouTube and come in, and I'll send you a link.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah,
My
definitely. I'm just me personally. I'm just excited. There's no
bro,
hate.
there's no reason why this shit should not happen now,
Yeah,
bro.
this is
There's
the
no
fight that's
reason.
supposed to happen, and
Yeah.
there's no more buildup because now Bud has done
It's
something that's
no build up,
yeah.
bro.
There's the buildup now is in the results. The buildup is in the results. Bud stopped Sean Porter. It's never
Man,
been
listen,
done.
bro. Listen, I don't care. You know me, bro. I
Hmm.
just want to see the fight, bro. Like, you know
Right.
what I'm saying? Fighter A,
Facts.
fighter B, this, that, and other. I want to see the fight, bro.
Facts. I'm with you on that. So, once this, I feel like this fight is most likely going to happen because they're going to probably want to build it a little bit. I don't think this fight's going to
Oh, they
happen.
don't need to build this fight no more.
Yeah, no. In order
You
to
talking about
make
for the
them,
PBC side or
yeah,
something?
in order to make it as big as they want it to
Bad
be.
idea. Bad idea.
No.
It's a
When I
bad
say
idea, bro.
listen to what I'm saying. When I say
Okay.
build it, I'm just talking about time. Like it's probably not going to happen in February. Spence was talking about fighting February.
June
And
maybe
yes, that's what I'm saying. In the summertime, like
or
a big sun.
September.
Think about it.
Yeah,
A big
June or
in good
September.
weather. A big
Yeah.
summertime fight. Maybe they put the fight in.
So this is what I was trying to ask you. Do you put one of them with a tune up, even though we don't Earl don't want to use that word tune up? Do we put both of them with a tune up with a PBC side if we can get them on
I think.
PBC
I think. I
and
think.
then do it?
No, I think that. I think that that should happen because Bud also, from a business aspect, needs to get his shit together in terms of who's going to represent him, the
Mm-hmm.
deal getting made.
Uh-huh.
I don't think between now is we're going into December and February that's enough time. So maybe by default, because of you got to think Earl also has a schedule as well.
So
So
December next year.
nah, it just needs to
I
be a
mean, not.
summer.
I mean, yeah, December. Yeah,
No,
December next year.
no, it should
Fight.
be in the summer. No,
Okay, listen. I just asked you.
uh-huh.
Do both of them fight a bullshit fight and then fight? Listen, it's November now.
No,
It's November right now. But got a little, you know what I'm saying? So he got a time to heal. This and the other. So do he fight? Do we come back in May and fight that tune up, him
no,
and
they
Spence
fight.
both,
No, they don't
and
fight.
then fight in December?
Yeah, no. What I think should happen is that Errol Spence should come back and fight because he hasn't had a fight in a while. I think he needs to come back and
Wait a
have a
minute.
fight, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then Bud Crawford and him then need to fight next in the summertime.
Okay, you're his handler. Who is Spence fighting next to get who? What's the next fight?
I don't know. I would. It all depends on what. If I was Spence, I'd fight Virgil Ortiz.
Ortiz. I'm thinking the same thing.
If I was Spence,
It's
I would
easy to
because
sell.
because
It's in Texas.
yep, and then that will also re-solidify him in business as being quote unquote the A side because they'll put that shit in Texas, they'll put in Cowboy Stadium, it'll
I'm
be
with it. I'm
packed
with
out.
you.
You
I'm
feel what
with
I'm
you.
saying?
I'm
It's
with you.
gonna be packed out. And then what can happen in this time, right? What can happen now is Bud can now just show up there. You know what
Mm-hmm.
I'm saying? Buck could then show up there and be like,
Pull
let's
up.
get it on.
Pull
He
up.
don't have to worry about because if the fight's going to be made, PBC's not going to have a problem with him getting in the ring or doing
Mm-hmm.
whatever he's doing.
Mm-hmm.
Where with Top Rank, he can't really. It's like if he works. Think about it for Bud. If he's with ESPN and Top Rank, can he, as their employee, pull up to a Spence fight on his own and then just get in the ring on his own and promote it on their platform and not ESPN's? No, can't
Yeah.
do that.
Yeah. I
You,
get it. I get
you,
it.
you follow what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Can't do that. And that's also another thing with what happened last night with Spence.
What?
He's a PBC. He can't just get up there in ESPN ring
But
without
we
they
all knew he was gonna be there.
right.
We all
And
knew he was gonna be there.
and to me, that's all that matters. That's all that
Honestly, bro, I
matters.
didn't even care about that. Like that shit. Only thing to me that matter is both of their names on that contract.
Facts.
That's the only thing that mattered to me. I want to see the fight.
Is it IBS might step in with a Mando? I'd be a good
Who
tune
is
up.
this? Who is this man though?
Shit. Let's
IBF. IBF.
let's let me check. Who's his
Wait a minute. So
Mando?
Ortiz supposed to be Crawford's, right? For the
Uh,
WBO, right?
Ortiz is
He's the
supposed
number
to.
one contender for the WBO, correct?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
Ortiz will be Crawford's.
But Ortiz is also he's also ranked high in the other bodies, sanctioned bodies too. I think he's ranked high like in the WBC.
Wait a
Not
minute. Boots is his Mando, then it? No,
no,
Boots
no,
ain't
no,
his
no,
man.
Boost, no, no,
No, I'm
no,
talking
or
about for Spence. That's
no,
not,
no, 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 no. It's a
he's like
it's a
number
no,
three.
no.
Boots
It's
like
it's
number
it's a
three.
guy that we probably don't want to see him fight. It's like some Russian guy or something. It's not.
Oh, I already know who you're talking about. I already know who you're talking about.
Yeah. Let me see.
Oh, he gonna beat the shit out of that boy, man.
Yeah, box red. Yeah. So all I'm saying is, you know, basically sign up for free access and more. Let me see ratings. I'm trying to see if I
Oh,
can
I gotta
find
charge
a
my phone up. Hold on, bro. Let me get this shot.
I don't know what that is. But yeah, anyway,
I hear you. Go ahead.
We
I'm
got
sorry.
yeah, we got yeah, we have to find the mandatories. I don't think I got. I'm not gonna look in box rec. Let me see.
IBF.
Uh,
IBF. I should know that.
boxing.
I think you might be right though about what dude though.
Oh, here we go. Boxing welterweight rankings. I looked at this before. Let me see who this is. I had one where it ain't this one. I had one where I was able to pull them up by sanctioning bodies. But let me just
I
do
mean,
this.
at this point, bro, it really don't even fucking matter who they Mandos is because I'm pretty certain that each alphabet soup organization is gonna let that fight happen. That's
Yeah,
how much everybody wants to
because
see that fight.
there's a lot of money. There's a lot of money in him fighting Virgil Ortiz. It'd be an action
In
packed fight.
Dallas, hell
Yeah,
yeah.
hell yeah, it'd be an action packed fight, and it'll be packed. It'll make money. It'll
Mm-hmm.
be a way to promote him and
He'll
Crawford.
stop. He'll stop Ortiz though, bro.
Yeah, it'll be a way to uh uh promote that fight and make it even a bigger and better fight. There doesn't Bud don't need to fight anyone else. He need to get his business together and have a fight in
Well, it
the
look like he.
summertime.
We'll see. Only thing I can do is hold a man to his
Let
word,
me see.
bro.
February, March, April, May,
He said
June,
that shit right in front
July.
of Bob.
It
So
would probably be like I would probably say if Spencer's fighting in February, they would probably fight like in August. I think that because just some
on
time
the
to
every 6 month
recoup.
thing.
Right. It's just like, yeah, I
But you
think
know, December is usually like that last closeout month for that's why I said December. It'll
yeah,
probably be November or December,
but
I think.
but I feel like this is the type of fight you make when there's really good weather because you want people to come out. You know what I'm saying? Like you
Oh,
want to
they
do it in
coming,
a
bro. They
yeah.
coming.
I'm just
They
saying
com-
this ain't a fight you put in the winter. I feel like this is a fight where it's an event
Bro,
where
it's gonna be in Vegas. It
yeah,
doesn't matter.
yeah, in the
It
summer.
don't even matter. It's gonna be in
Yep,
Vegas.
yep, yep,
The weather's
yep,
gonna be straight.
yep, yep. Perfect, man. So look, I was up till 6 yesterday, so I'm gonna hop on this thing. I ain't go to bed at
Hey,
six
it's all
o'clock
good,
last night,
bro. It's
man.
all good, man.
But
I ain't go to bed about
I
5 something this morning, bro.
yeah, I woke up. My wife was gone. I normally give her a ride to work. She was just gone. She's like, "Yeah, you was sleeping so hard. I didn't even want to bother you."
We had a long night, bro.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we had a long one, man. But salute to you.
for sure, for sure.
Salute to the chat. Cameron Edwards, John Applegate, uh, ESD Endo.
He said if I was Sean, I wouldn't pay my daddy.
Yeah, I wouldn't either. He was tripping, bro.
Yo,
Brandon
I was
Fogg,
so fucked up
Rico
with
Brown,
him for doing Sean like that, bro. That was dirty
John
as hell.
John Kramer, J Rod, Shelton Moore. I'm just going through all you guys who support. We appreciate you guys, man.
Salute.
Definitely Cassandra Mason, and anyone else I didn't mention. Definitely appreciate you guys. We're gonna have definitely more content. There's a lot going on. I think we're in a good place for this fight to actually happen now, where it's just time for it to happen, and it can happen. But it's a process, so we'll take a look to see how that go down. Salute to the panel, salute to the chat. You got any final words going?
Oh, no, I'm good, man. Y'all come out and subscribe to my channel too, Boxing Debate with the Goon. You can find it on YouTube. You can put in TBIBBS 100. That's TBS 100, and we'll be in there
Okay, we in there like swimwear.
for sure.
We appreciate you guys.